This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. The Chiefs get offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. in a trade with the Ravens. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Ravens will get 4 picks, including a first-rounder next week. The Chiefs get 2 picks. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
I think the reason they made that trade is they weren't going to be able to keep him. This is going to be the first of many non-Lamar Jackson rookie contract veterans they can't keep. Let's get something for him now before he leaves in free agency.
Mike Tannenbaum on the Max Kellerman Show. Steve McMichael, a defensive lineman on the Super Bowl 20 championship team with the Bears, tells the Chicago Tribune he's been diagnosed with ALS. McMichael is now mostly confined to a wheelchair. He is 63 years old. ESPN's David Newton reports the Carolina Panthers have talked to at least 5 teams about trading down from the 8th overall pick in next week's draft. And Japan declares another state of emergency for Tokyo, hoping to stop a growing COVID-19 outbreak with the start of the Olympics just 3 months away.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, and an app that lets you bank anytime, anywhere, choosing Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you
I'm
need
talking-
a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
How are you, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Baseball Tigers win last night. 5-4.
Yeah.
Had to get it.
Yep.
Caught a huge break with Gunnar Hoglund being scratched. But make no apologies for that. Derek Diamond, the demoted Sunday starter, the former Sunday starter who'd been demoted, gets the ball. LSU had a chance to get to him in the first, man. Ole Miss commits 3 errors. Tigers had a couple of hits, but Tigers only put up 2 runs in the first. Ole Miss would erase those 2, go up 4-2.
Yep.
Not the best day for Landon Marceau, but I'll be damned if he didn't battle 3 different times with runners on base. He got out of the inning with a strikeout. Handed the ball off to Garrett Edwards, who got through the 6th, and then Devin Fontenot brought him home 7-8-9, and the Tigers rally for a win, much needed. So there's a lot that I'd like to unpack in this game. Did you have a general thought on it?
I mean, look, it looked like the stars lined up for LSU early. Obviously, when you miss a starter, when you miss a guy like they missed, you think you have that distinct advantage. Marceau throwing the ball the way he's been throwing the ball, same thing. Look, all that being said, the Tigers still had to win the game, and they did. So I thought it was a big victory. No, it wasn't the front line guy that we thought we were going to see.
Who cares?
I thought Diamond threw the ball well, though. But LSU chipped away. Interesting, the first inning, the first inning was very fun for me to watch and kind of see. And when LSU was able to keep them from just scoring one on the solo homer, I said, man, this is probably going to be a pretty good game, because it could have gotten away from them pretty easily. The foul ball that was almost called the homer, and then you're looking at a 2-2 game. It's tough to tell, the angle.
There was no shot down the line.
Yeah, and I would have to think that the crazies out in right field would have gone.
They would have gone nuts
if it would have been fair.
Yeah.
But that thing could have looked a whole lot different there in the first inning, and I thought the guys played well, and they snuck out a victory, man.
So, couple of things. We've talked a lot about math. LSU came into this series with 4 conference wins. I've said they need to get 1 each against Ole Miss and Arkansas, put you at 6. You win each of your final 3 series, that puts you at 12. If you manage to sweep one of them, that's at 13. Your RPI is going to be around 20. Hopefully you make a run in Hoover, and that gets you in. I think that's the math. So I don't care how it happened. They all count the same. I don't care how it happened this weekend. You needed to get 1, and you achieved that.
Yep.
So now I don't think they're winning tonight. They're not beating Doug Nikhazy, and I don't think with the hodgepodge that they have in Game 3 that they're winning that one. So maybe baseball's quirky. You never know what could happen on a given day. You go out there and maybe starting pitcher has the runs and just isn't very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball. It happens.
Who knows? We saw Kumar Rocker a couple of weeks ago just get absolutely pummeled. Gave up like 4 homers or whatever, 7 homers. It could happen. It's a weird game. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. Thoughts on Marceau last night?
I didn't think he was great. I didn't think he had his best stuff, obviously, but that being said, you're facing a really good offensive team. I mean, it seemed like every one of the Ole Miss hitters was hitting over 300 and had 4, 5, 6 homers.
They hit 301 as a team. Second highest batting average in the conference.
So it's a team that's going to grind out at bats. I thought
they always have a big, stupid, fat first baseman with ugly hair who just stands there and rakes.
That was dumb.
The guy's name is Kale.
Yeah, typical.
Kale.
But look, man, I thought he did well. I really did.
Kale in a smoothie. Kale.
You think that guy ever eats kale?
No.
No chance.
Ugly. Heinous.
The mark of a good pitcher is when you don't have your best stuff, you can still figure out a way to get victories, get out of innings, not let innings get away from you, and I thought he did that.
Amen. So I want to talk about the 7th and the 8th innings.
Yep.
So the 7th was LSU's rally, so they took the lead. But it almost didn't happen. So DiGiacomo leads off with a double. And then you have 8 and 9 coming up, and that's Bianco and Milazzo. I'm screaming, and you can go watch. I did a companion show last night. You can go on my YouTube or Facebook, you can see it. I'm screaming, you've got to pinch hit for Bianco. They went to Broadway, who's their closer, is a righty. I'm like, get me a left-handed bat, a runner on second. Like, get me a left-handed bat in the lineup right now and get Bianco out of there. They don't pitch hit for Bianco.
Right.
He does fly out. Giacomo goes to third on the sac fly. He then does pinch hit for Milazzo. So for the life of me, I can't understand pinch hitting for your catcher, especially when Travinsky isn't even available. You're taking an elite glove off the field at a premium position and leaving in the game Bianco, who's at a position that I could probably play today, and you leave him in you're going to pinch hit either way there.
Sure.
That was my feeling on it. What do you think?
I think you definitely pinch hit for Bianco. Bianca, excuse me.
Right, sorry.
I think you definitely pitch hit for Bianca.
What were you thinking?
The Milazzo one. So normally you're trying to figure out a way to get him in the game at that point, Milazzo.
For a defensive replacement.
Right.
Yes, but he was already starting.
He's already in the game, so great. Now, I don't mind pinch hitting for him there. I don't hate it. I do hate not pinch hitting for Bianco.
You can call him whatever you want at this point.
Bianco.
I will say, if you're going to, and I criticize Paul for that. He deserved it, I think. But he also gave Trey Morgan the green light on 3-0 with 2 outs. And that's having a lot of faith in a freshman hitter to say, hey, if it's your pitch, drive it. If it's not, let it go. Because you're sitting there with 2 outs and a man on third. I mean, down 2 runs. You can't give away outs at this point.
Right.
but he green-lighted a freshman, and Morgan delivered.
Yeah, and you have to. I mean, in a situation like that where you know you got to score runs to win the game, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer to green-light the guy.
Could I argue, take your walk, and then you got Cruz up with 2 on?
No, you do, but Morgan is not a guy that's going to go out of the zone. He's at a really good eye. I mean, we think we've seen that all year. Yep. So if anybody on the team, I think you feel most comfortable green-lighting Morgan at that point 3-0. But yeah, I mean, there were some questions going into the series from the lineup standpoint for me. And I'm not sure if Arnold, I know Arnold's been struggling a little bit, or if he's maybe a little banged up or something, but to not have him in there, I did think Drost would get in it bat or two. There were some situations you could get some lefties in there. But it is what it is. What's going to be interesting for me to see is what the lineup looks like tonight. Yeah. Because I think we've had the experiment. Okay. We know who's going to hit. You know exactly who's going to hit on this team. They've been doing it all year, and it's your freshman. Yeah. And if you're going to produce runs, it's going to be from Dylan Cruz. It's going to be from, Dugas had a nice season.
And Beloso's
getting
raised
hot.
his average nearly 60 points in the last 3 weeks.
Doty's a 280 guy. But really you got to count on Cruz and Morgan. Morgan's got to get on base. Cruz has to drive him in, and so you get 27 outs in a major league game. There's not, or a college game. There's 9 innings. When you look up and down the lineup, it's hard to win a game when you have guys in that lineup that are outs.
You're just out.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're bad players or they're bad hitters. They're just, I've been that guy before. I've been an out before, but not very often. But
it's so stupid.
I mean, if Justin Verlander's pitching, but that's about it. But I think you can't win games that way. I mean, you got to have guys that are just more competitive offensively.
Well, that's why this team isn't very good. They're just not very good. That's why they're 5-11 in the SEC. And that's why we're trying to piece together a way to get them into regional play. The other thing I got, we're short on time, but the 8th inning, Beloso flies out to right to lead off the inning, and then you get back-to-back-to-back singles, Thompson, DiGiacomo, and Bianca. And you see, you got me doing it now. And then you get what you want from Jake Wyeth, a guy who was only in the game because he decided to pinch hit for Milazzo. So you put Wyeth in at catcher, and now he's in this key spot. And the one thing you need from him is put the ball in the air to the outfield. You got 1 out, just don't hit the ball on the ground in the infield. Just get it to the outfield and get that run home. And he does exactly what you want. Sure. He hits a fly ball to right field, and Jordan Thompson on third tags. But Bianco tags as well, gets nailed at second, and now you're out of the inning before Thompson can score. Yeah. I want you to clarify this. I mean, I know the answer, but I want you to say it. Bianco going, his decision or the first base coach?
His.
Thank you. I think people get confused. It's not
100% his.
It's not like the third base coach waving you in. You're looking at the outfielder and you make the decision.
Yes.
Thank you.
Plays in front of you.
Thank you. Okay. Because a lot of people are blaming Keel, the first base, and I'm like, no. That's the runner's discretion. The other thing some people are criticizing is Jordan Thompson for letting up before he touched home plate and not sprinting through the plate.
That's stupid
Thank
criticism.
you. All right, I'm gonna let you tell all of these people how stupid they are, so I don't have to keep doing it. And then the retort I get is, well, you never played. If that's the case, then none of you jackasses anywhere can ever say anything about anything because none of you played either. But there's some things that are common sense. So please tell me why.
The plays in front of the base runner at first base. Mm-hmm. You don't count on the first base coach to tell you when to go or when to stay there, ever. I mean, this is Little League all the way up, okay? So there's no way that first base coach was telling. Now, he may have been or I don't know what was exactly going on, but in my years of playing, that didn't happen. So
you go halfway. If the ball lands, you go. If he catches it, you go back to first base. Sorry, go ahead.
The Jordan Thompson on third, you're watching the ball, you're watching the guy catch it, you sprint, you see where the ball's being thrown, then you shut it down, and you kind of cruise in. He actually ran hard further than I would have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest with you. I'd have probably Cadillac'd about halfway in. The issue in the whole play, is what happened. Like, it was a good base running move until he kept going. What you're supposed to do is draw that throw to second base, make him throw it there, which he did, and then he just kept going. You go real hard 2 steps and go back to first.
And by the way, the guy in right field is John Rice Plumlee, who's the quarterback. Who's the quarterback on the football team?
He's got a cannon. Yeah, it was. Was it an aggressive? I heard Paul say it was a good aggressive play. Yes, it was aggressive. Was it a smart play? No, it wasn't a smart play.
Thank you. If you have a problem with anything that I've said regarding that, address your concerns to the guy who played 10 years in Major League Baseball. I'd love for you to have that argument with him and tell him why he's dumb. All right, it's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
Need dinner plans tonight? Ichiban's got you covered. Voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the best of 225. Amazing all-weather patio dining as well. You know where Ichiban is. It's like walking out of Baton Rouge and into New York City. And by the way, from our friends at Ichiban, their latest concept, Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. You got to go to Bo-Ru last week.
Went to Bo-Ru.
What did you think?
Great atmosphere. The food was wonderful. They had the live music going. Yeah. It was just a really cool vibe right there in Electric Depot. And my kids were begging me to go back the next day.
Were they?
They were.
It's a great vibe, man. Indoor, outdoor seating. And you didn't even get to go see. Oh, did you go into Sweet Society?
Oh, yeah.
You did go into Sweet Society.
The line was too long for me at the time, but I did go in there.
Yeah. It's awesome for the entire family. Sweet Society, which is the Japanese sweet shop, Japanese ice cream and stuff like that, which is attached to Bo-Ru. You can access it through there. Anyway, check out Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Ichiban and Bo-Ru.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
You get out of here. You get straight out of here. I dare you to say that on air. I dare you to say that on. You say that on air, I will annihilate you. I dare you. You should. Yeah, I know you're not, because you know how ridiculous it is.
I don't like it.
Let me know when we're back, Rain.
We're back about 30 seconds ago.
I don't believe you.
The reference would be on point if you took a sip from had a little pour.
We needed a cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
He likes a cigarette. I don't believe you. What do you think about tanking in professional sports? I'm asking you.
I like it.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any scenario where you don't like it?
No. I mean, yes. If there's not like an obvious no, I like it.
Were you ever on a team that tanked?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you were on some really bad teams in Chicago. I mean, before you all got good while you were there, but you were on some bad teams too.
We may have been tanking, and I didn't know it.
Okay. You were on a bad team in LA also.
No, we were good when I got there, and then we were bad when it ended.
When you left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they didn't tank toward the end?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The only reason I would say I wouldn't like it is if there wasn't an obvious difference maker that you could draft, or if there wasn't the potential to really stink and get some good players. Like if you're going to be just middle of the road, draft position. Look, the deal with Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, they didn't tank to get Zion. They traded Anthony Davis. I mean, obviously,
you had the ball in the thing, the lottery, and the whole deal.
And it went your way.
Win.
I mean, the ping pong balls went your way, which is awesome. It's gone the Pelicans' way twice now.
Yeah.
It went that way with Zion, and then with Anthony Davis as well. Yeah. So, look, I'm bringing this up because my feeling on the Pels is I'm actively rooting for a tank. And sometimes fans don't like to hear that, but I think there is logic behind going backwards to go forwards. The Philadelphia 76ers were in perpetual tank mode for a half decade.
They were.
Well, they're the top seed in the Eastern Conference now because that netted them players like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and now they've built a roster that is arguably the best roster in the Eastern Conference, and they're a contender and will be a contender for as long as those guys stay healthy and relevant. So if you look back in hindsight and you ask people in Philadelphia, was it worth it? They'd look now and go, yeah, I think so, as opposed to being in this perpetual state of not contending and trying to build the bridge as you cross it. They said, to hell with this. We're just going to hang out here on the other side. Let you all build the bridge, and when the bridge is built, then we'll go cross it.
Yeah. From a player standpoint, though, being on those teams that stink and you really feel like you're not necessarily trying to win, I'm sure it's really bad.
I can believe that, but is there, well, let me not ask a leading question. My perception is you're still a professional athlete being paid to do a job.
Sure.
And no matter what, as they say, the eye in the sky don't lie, and you're always putting out film. So if your team is bad and you're not playing hard and you stink, that shows up on film, that jeopardizes your job security.
Yep. Well, this is speaking about just baseball because that's what I played, but in Little League, the game is its most pure. You're only concerned about winning and losing the game. You're not keeping stats and all that stuff. If a game rains out, you're sad and upset. It's its most pure at that point. High school, for most people, it's the same way, unless you're one of the highly recruited guys and they have people in the stands watching you, but those guys are few and far between. In college, it gets a little more serious, and then professionally, my biggest knock on professional sports, professional baseball for me was you take the focus off of winning the game and it goes on to the individual, and you have to be selfish, just like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But to be selfish, knowing that when you're going to the ballpark, you're going to lose, your team's not good, and you still have to prepare as if, you're taking the winning and losing stuff out of it. It takes it, from the player standpoint, it takes that anxiousness, that excitement that gets you going, it takes it totally out of it.
That makes sense.
You
have to find a different level of motivation.
You have to figure that out, and that's not easy. In my game, when you're playing 162 of them, it's a challenge even when you're in a playoff race or even when you're trying to win the game because it's Groundhog Day. I mean, you're playing every single day. So it's hard. I could see tanking in football may be harder, on the players because you're leading up that whole week in preparation for the game.
Yeah. Well, look at the Jets. The Jets slipped up, won a game, cost them the first pick in the draft. Yep. Now they don't get Trevor Lawrence, who might be the generational quarterback. If you ask Jets fans, would you rather have lost that game and have had the option to draft Trevor Lawrence? My guess, now they've probably convinced themselves that they're in love with Zach Wilson, right. But if you gave them like a truth serum and hooked them up to a lie detector, would they want Trevor Lawrence?
Of
Hell
course.
Yeah, they would. So all this to say, because the Pelicans, they win last night. They went to Orlando and blew out Orlando, and Orlando's really shorthanded. But Zion after the game, after the win, can you play number 2, please, Brain? This was Zion. So the next game up is this weekend again on Saturday night. They play the Spurs, and the Spurs are currently in the playoff in that play-in game situation. The Pelicans are just outside of it, although in the loss column, they need a Herculean effort. But this was Zion after the game last night on the game this Saturday against San Antonio.
It's like I said after the last game, I mean, the reality of the situation is we need every win. So, we're going to go into each game, Saturday, since they're a West Coast team as well. Got to go in there and, do whatever we can to get the win. It's just the reality of the situation.
So the Spurs right now are the 9 seed in the West. So for those that don't know, it's always, the top 8 are in. Mm-hmm. Well, they've adopted in the NBA this play-in tournament. So 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. If you're the lower seed, you got to win twice. If you're the higher seed, you got to win once. Yep. And then you're into the best of 7 series. So where it stands right now is 7, 8, 9, 10 are Dallas, Memphis, San Antonio, and Golden State. And then New Orleans is 11. But the problem is New Orleans is 3 games behind Golden State in that 11th spot right there at 26 and 33. So you got to make up 3 games with 13 to play. Yeah. Is it doable? Yeah, it's doable. But look at who you play. San Antonio, these are the 13. Spurs, Clippers, Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves, Warriors, Sixers, Hornets, Grizzlies, Mavs, Warriors, Lakers. 13 games remaining. 11 of the 13 are against teams currently in the playoffs. I want them to lose them all. I want them to lose out. I mean, they play the 2 games against OKC and Minnesota, or the 2 games against teams not currently in the playoff picture. I want them to lose all of these games because there is still room to be downwardly mobile and to increase your chance at a better draft slot in a very deep NBA draft where you have assets not only for you, but for the Lakers.
Sure.
Like, I want them to lose. I want them to lose as many games as possible the rest of the way for the betterment of the team long term, because even if they were to go on a little run and get that 10 seed to play to try to beat Dallas twice, even if they beat Dallas twice and then they're the 8 seed, well, congrats. Now you get to play Utah. Utah or Phoenix, whichever way. It's not going to go your way either way. So what really did you gain? I mean, I'm eventually I do agree you've got to find a way into the playoffs. You got to taste that and get your guys that experience. I just don't think this is the team that's ready for that, and I want more assets.
I do think they're a year away, for what
at
you
least
said. What do they get from LA? A lot.
Do you want me to go pull it up again?
No, you don't have to. I mean, you say if it's a lot, it's a lot.
It's a ton.
Good. Okay.
I mean,
for how many years?
I'll pull it up. Here you go. Let's see. Okay. They got 3 first-round draft picks, including what was the 4th pick in the 2019 draft. They traded the 2019 pick to get Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and a future protected first-round pick. The Pelicans also got, at the time, Ingram, Ball, and Josh Hart. Mm-hmm. And gosh, dog it. Sorry, I thought I'm looking for just the concise list of it. It's a ton. They got a ton, players and picks in that deal.
Yeah, let's just lose them all.
Yeah,
you're not going to win the whole thing, right? Let's lose them all.
No, you're not. You're not going to win them all. I'm all about losing them all for the remainder of the season. 100%. Pels Spurs tomorrow from the blender. Let's go Spurs.
Let's go Tim Duncan.
No, he doesn't play for them anymore.
Let's go Tony Parker.
No, he doesn't play for them anymore either.
Let's go Manu.
Doesn't play for them anymore either.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Nope, he retired too. They traded him and then he retired.
Oh.
Don't say Kawhi because he's been to like 2 teams since then.
Ready to say Kawhi.
Yeah, he's not there either. A lot of those guys are.
I like Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
He's a good swimmer.
The big fundamental.
What a nickname.
The big fundamental.
What a nickname.
I know. It's like we want to give you a nickname because you're really good. We just don't have anything really nice to say about you.
Because you're very bland.
Yes. You're fundamental.
You're so fundamental.
You know what you have? Potential. That's what you got. Mr. Potential. With fundamentals. That's what you got. The big fundamental. All right, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC. A great deed has been done in college baseball. Okay. And share that with you when we come back. Ryan's letter in about 30 minutes. Kick Rocks coming up as well. We'll do Ask Ryan in 15 minutes. Want to start lining up your questions for our guy, Big Bad Rye Guy here? You can do it. You can even text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Ask Ryan in about 15 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed in every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Here's what I want you to do. Maybe you have considered selling your home. Maybe you've thought about it. Maybe not, but maybe you have. And you've thought, you know what? I hear about the market. It's so hot right now. I want to list my home, but I just don't want to go. I don't want to take the pictures. I don't want to go through all the listing appointments. And I don't want to have to put it up on the MLS and have to leave my house and go through staging and all that. What if Darren James could sell your home without ever listing your home? You see, Darren has a network of buyers lined up who are anxious to buy potentially what you are selling. You might be able to sell your home off market. So call or text Darren right now. You can text Darren right now. 335-7666. That's his cell. Text him right now. 335-7666. Let Darren let you know what he thinks he could get for your home today. Call Darren James. Get your home sold.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 per month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen. And they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Experience the Zurich Classic in a whole new way. This year, you can purchase a Best of the Zurich Classic Pass, which will get you into all the venues you know and love, where you'll feast on great food and drinks from some of your favorite local restaurants. Come enjoy the outdoors and see the best golfers in the world. But hurry, attendance is limited. This year, all safety protocols will be followed to ensure a safe tournament experience for everyone. The Zurich Classic. For more info and tickets, go to ZurichGolfClassic.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
It's not what you think it is. It can't. Physically, it can't be what you think it is.
It's 100% what I think.
How could it get there?
I got my thoughts.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, it has to be like an eyelash.
It's not an eyelash. When it curls,
it could be an eyebrow. Someone
that's the longest, curliest eyebrow I've ever seen in my life.
I have very thick eyebrows, and sometimes, like when I pluck, sometimes it curls like that.
I'm looking at your eyebrows that you say are very thick.
They're
not even close to what I just saw.
You don't understand, because some of them lay down because I keep them manicured, but there are long eyebrows that if you pluck, you'll notice that it's long, but it does curl when you pluck them out.
Wasn't an eyebrow. No way it was an eyebrow.
There's no way that could be on the sink as high as the sink is in that bathroom.
Oh, there's a way.
No, there's no way.
100%.
There's no way.
Yeah, there is a way.
The sink isn't close enough to the toilet for that to be what that is.
Assuming whoever put that hair in the bathroom on the sink, where it is right now, assuming that they were using the restroom properly with all of their body parts in the right place,
anatomy,
then you're correct. But I know what I just saw.
Nobody is peeing in the sink.
I'm not saying they were peeing in the sink.
There's no way that it could get there.
There's a lot of, there is.
No.
Yeah.
How?
Well, for instance, let's say you're peeing in the toilet and maybe you shake.
Yeah. And one falls off.
Onto your hand.
Yeah.
And you go to wash your hands and it falls off your hand and it's right there.
Okay. I could believe that.
I mean, that's just.
And you're suggesting someone didn't notice that they did it?
That's the most G-rated.
Yes. But you're suggesting someone just didn't notice that it fell off, or maybe they were too bothered by it that they didn't flick it into the sink?
If it was their own. And listen, it's 2021. Those hairs shouldn't even look like that. It's not 1970.
You're right. That's why I have Manscaped.
Correct.
Do you have a Manscaped the lawnmower? Do you have that?
I don't have.
You should try it.
I don't have the lawnmower, but I mean, I've got the razor.
No, you need to get the brand Manscaped, the lawnmower. I mean,
I'm gonna go take a picture in the break.
You can go to town, and it's not gonna cut you. It's amazing, amazing, great quality. Even has a little flashlight on it, so whenever it's dark. When it's cutting the grass,
when it's dark,
it's got a flashlight so you can see where it's going.
I'm gonna go take a picture in the break, and I'm gonna @ Manscaped with that.
Okay.
Picture.
You should get a Manscaped lawnmower, though. You should. I mean, if you care to take care of things, But that's not what you think that is. I just don't see how that could be what you think that is.
It's 1,000% what I think.
It can't be what you think it is.
We're going to get Brain and Paul to go take a look.
Brain, how about a poll question for the day? Is it what Theriot thinks it is?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
That's it. That's all the poll questions can say. It's a yes or no. Is it what Theriot thinks it is? Okay.
Yes or no. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You got some Relief Windows over at your house?
I do, and I've got Relief doors, I guess.
Do you?
Yeah,
Well, they do windows, doors, and siding.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I was doing a companion show from my house, watching the LSU baseball game, had the YouTube and the Facebook stream up doing the companion show, and I was in kind of our den.
Who are you doing
kitchen?
The show with?
Just me. Do you want to do tonight? You do from your house.
It's a companion show. Is it with
we're
someone
just watching
else?
the game.
But it's with somebody.
Everybody watching with you.
They're your companions.
Yes, while you watch the game. Well, anyway, so I had the game on. It was at our den, living room, whatever. It's our kitchen's all one big area. And so behind me, you could see the big wall of windows. Not like those. Someone was like, "Are those relief windows?" As a matter of fact, they are relief windows. Brandon had a great idea of installing the picture windows, so it's just beautiful. Makes this L wall of windows look out in the backyard. They'll make those great suggestions for you. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Tragic story in Los Angeles. Terrence Clark, freshman guard for Kentucky this past year, was involved in a car accident in L.A. on Thursday and died. He was 19 years old. Clark was the solo occupant of a vehicle. He ran a red light at a very high rate of speed, struck another vehicle. The driver of the other vehicle, which was a truck, did not claim any injuries. Clark's mother was at his side when he died in Los Angeles. Announced last month that he was entering the NBA draft. He had signed with Clutch Sports. Clark, entering the season, was a projected lottery pick. As of the most recent version of ESPN's Top 100 Best Available Prospects, he was number 72 overall.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Pair of home runs by Robert Moore and a dominant group effort on the mound led number 1 Arkansas past number 11 South Carolina 6-1 in the series opener in Columbia on Thursday night. Caleb Bolden got the start for the Hogs. He went 3 1/3. He allowed 1 run on 2 hits. For the game, South Carolina was limited to just 1 run on those 2 hits.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss picked up a late addition to the 2021 football class on Friday. Receiver Josh Pfeiffer announced his commitment to the Rebs from Nashville. He'll be a preferred walk-on. He had an offer from the Butler Bulldogs, a scholarship offer from the Butler Bulldogs.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia, their athletic department, they've announced they're partnering with Altius Sports Partners in an effort to educate the Bulldog student-athletes on the NIL legislation. Georgia will coordinate a year-long series of educational workshops with Altius Sports Partners, providing resources and opportunities for student-athletes to ask questions and provide feedback. Wow. This company is also working with LSU, Texas, and South Carolina, among others.
For those guys.
There you have it. This is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. Great feature in the Baton Rouge Business Report as well on Trey Beal and the Gulf Coast Office Products. I shared that on Facebook if you want to go check it out. GCOPnet.com. You need office equipment. Every business needs office equipment.
They do. Paper and stuff. Ink cartridges.
All of it. They got it. Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. Why'd you hit the TV?
Trying to hit the camera.
It was a terrible throw.
It was close. It was
No.
right above it.
You hit the TV.
Right
You hit
above
Mina Kimes.
Right above it.
Hey, do you remember when LSU played Mississippi State a couple weeks back in baseball?
I do.
And Mississippi State won the first 2 games.
I remember that. I was there.
And then LSU won the 3rd game. Remember that?
Yep.
And because Chris Blair was calling basketball, Hunt Palmer called Game 3 for the LSU Sports Radio Network against Mississippi State.
He did a great job.
Thought he did. And you might remember he also drew the ire of Mississippi State fans because Hunt Palmer made this comment about Mississippi State's uniforms that day.
Well, is it time to talk about these Mississippi State uniforms?
I was wondering when you were going to bring it up. I didn't want to be the one that...
It's just, it offends my sensibilities that a baseball team would come out and look like that. They look like a beer league softball team. It looks like they're trying to crush homers and natty lights and these things. It's just not working.
By the way, completely agree with him. And Mississippi State Twitter crushed Hunt for that, but he was right. Do you have a feeling on all black uniforms in baseball?
Can't stand them.
Yeah, right?
I can't stand black pants. Black pants is the worst.
Terrible.
The black tops, when LSU did the black tops,
Awful.
I hated it. Not a fan at all.
Well, in 2018, Mississippi State went to the black uniforms. And remember, that was a little bit of a tumultuous year. That's when Andy got fired a little way into the season, and they were like 2-7 overall, and it was bad. And then they beat number 3 Ole Miss wearing the black uniforms. That kind of became their sort of rallying point. They ran all the way to Omaha. Into the championship series that year. They went 10-0 wearing the black uniforms in 2019.
Wow.
Well, they've lost twice now on Sundays in those black uniforms this year. And last week, the team went to the coach and said, hey, can we wear our pinstripes instead? He was like, yep, that's cool. Chris Lamona said, the kids came up a couple weeks ago, asked if we wear our pinstripes when we went to Auburn. It's all about the team and the kids. If they feel comfortable wearing something and they're winning, I usually go along with it.
I think it's a good choice. Maybe they heard Hunt.
I think everyone involved at Mississippi State baseball, every Mississippi State baseball fan, you all owe Hunt Palmer an apology. Mm-hmm. He had the testicular fortitude to step forward and say, hey, your uniforms are crap. You deserve better. Your program deserves better. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Stop looking like a beer league softball team and look like one of the top premier programs in the history of college baseball. You're embarrassing yourselves out there. And they listened.
Good for them.
It's AFR, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar, title sponsor of our Friday shows all throughout the year. Not bad. We'll wrap up hour number 1. Terrio's in studio. We'll do Ask Ryan. You want to ask Terrio anything about anything, here's your shot. Tweet your questions at Matt Moscona. Jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat or text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ask Ryan is next.
AFR.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with 12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen. And they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not 1, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Riot Radio and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
All right, we'll get to Ask Ryan in just a second. Remind the people about Bowie Outfitters.
Go check out Bowie Outfitters' Spring Savings event going on right now until Sunday. You can get up to $50 off your purchase of casual apparel, camo, and footwear. Now is the time to stock up on all your favorite brands like Drake, Filson, Columbia, and much more. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with all things Bowie Outfitters. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And now Sundays from 11 to 5. Bowie Outfitters, everything outdoors, 8630 Perkins Road.
Let's start on Twitter. Ask Ryan. John Mangus says, ask Ryan, should the Saints trade out of the first round to recoup more picks on latter rounds of this draft?
No.
Ask Ryan, who is this week's Traction MVP?
Not Mac Twilly. He was at the Zurich today.
Ask Ryan, charcoal, wood, or pellet smoker?
Wood, right? You like wood smoke?
I actually go charcoal.
I like wood.
Okay. I don't mind using wood chips on my charcoal, or like cedar plank, to like salmon on a cedar plank.
So good. When you do the wood chips, what flavor do you go with?
So years ago, the late Ed Buggs told me, because everybody likes to go with like applewood or pecan wood.
Cherry.
It's a peach. He was right.
He was right.
Ed Buggs
He's the guy.
Ed Buggs knew his way around a grill, I'll tell you that much. Dude knew what he was doing, bro. He knew what he was doing. Ask Ryan, why don't you have the hair long?
It got too long, like really long, and I'm not a like trim it guy. I'm either long or short, and so I went short.
Ask Ryan, 80% or 20% Mulkey comes to LSU?
80.
Ask Ryan, keep one and eliminate the other, black pants and white cleats.
Man,
you got to get rid of the black pants.
I got to get rid of the black pants.
Let's see. Ask Ryan, least favorite teammate while at LSU.
Like the guy I just hated?
Yeah.
It got to be fun, though.
Ask Ryan, do you have a preferred type of wood bat?
Yeah, Marucci.
Ask Ryan, can you break down the big beach volleyball game tonight versus TCU?
It's a big one. Listen, they've had a tough last few weeks. Played some really good teams. But as far as the game tonight goes, I'm not going to break it down, but I will say it's a must-win match for us, and I think we're in a good spot.
Ask Ryan, do you ever regret getting out of the snowball biz? Whatever happened to that snowball stand? What did you call it? Snowballers?
Snowballers.
It is so stupid. You bought a snowball stand.
Hey, it was a good one, too.
I even went to Traction to help you sling snowballs one day.
I sold it to bogeys.
Ask Ryan, what's your favorite kind of rock to kick? That's from Jordan Lennox.
Any rocks.
Jamie Perk. Ask Ryan, who would be the MLB manager you'd want to play for? Have a good one. Past or present?
Probably A.J. Hinch.
Ask Ryan if he agrees with Sheffield. That's from Andrew Moeller.
What did Sheffield say?
I don't know. Ray Constantino, did y'all know it's V Appreciation Day?
I didn't know that. That's what's going on in the bathroom.
Thank you, Ray. Tom Sandoz asked Ryan, is there a movie scene that you skip watching? I like Django Unchained, but I can't watch the scene when Leo DiCaprio makes the dogs do. Well, yeah. Anyway.
No. I don't know.
Oh, this guy just sent me a picture. Michael Adams sent me a picture of smoking Boudin.
There you go. That's for him.
Ask Ryan. Ask Matt, do you own a bat mug? What is a bat mug? If not, you should get them for all of Guarantee Media.
Bat mug.
All right. Wrap up hour number 1. Coming right back with more Theriot, Ryan's Letter, Kick Rocks, all that good stuff. Don't you move. It's a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
And the Williamson Eye Center. You know what today is?
National Eye Appreciation Day.
No, it's Friday. And Friday is LASIK Day over at the Williamson Eye Center. So Dr. Blake schedules a lot of the LASIK procedures on Fridays, and then it's just
rolling.
So today was that day. I'm so pumped for everybody today that went to the Williamson Eye Center, had their LASIK done, and have changed their life. Give yourself the gift sight. And I'll tell you also something to keep in mind. If you need your eye exam, if you've been neglecting that, they've actually opened up additional appointments next week at the Williamson Eye Center at all their locations. I mean, they've got them in Denham and in Zachary, and, of course, the Bluebonnet location, Connells Park. WilliamsonEYE.com, WilliamsonEYE.com. The optical shop is there as well. So if you do wear contacts or glasses, all types of different frames, sunglasses as well, prescription and just regular. Got Marucci sunglasses.
Yeah, nice.
The Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEYE.com, or call 924-2020.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new RAV4 for $329 per month. That's $329 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
It's time to get serious about your lawn. It's time to step up to the best mower brand money can buy. For nearly 4 decades, Skag has been the easy choice for lawn care professionals. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best when it comes to mowing your lawn. There's sure to be a Skag model that's perfect for your yard, big or small. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood.
Contact All Outdoor Power Equipment in Bruley.
Skag, simply the best.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Chiefs are sending 4 draft picks, including their first-round pick next week, to the Ravens to get offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. The Chiefs also get 2 picks in return. Ohio State coach Ryan Day says quarterback Justin Fields will thrive as a pro.
He's strong, he's accurate, he's powerful, he's really intelligent, he's competitive, he's got a strong arm, he's super accurate down the field.
Ryan Day on Greeny. The Browns pick up the 5th-year option on quarterback Baker Mayfield. That extends his deal through the 2022 season when he'll make almost $19 million. Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick in 2018. Last season, the Browns got their first playoff win in 26 years. No changes are likely over the next few years, but the College Football Playoff Management Committee did spend some time this week exploring expansion. The options ranged from 6 to 16 teams. There's still 5 seasons left on the original 12-year contract.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Please, sir. I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour is presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And
Show!
We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Yeah, Brett.
Yay,
LSU. Some breaking news here. LSU has landed another commitment for the class of 2022. It is 5-star defensive back out of Ponchatoula, Jacoby Matthews. Just made his announcement. So Jacoby Matthews, 5-star defensive back, the number 3 player in the state of Louisiana, with a tweet graphic edit there from our friend Hayes Fawcett. Says, I'm home. So Matthews means now the top 3 players in the state for the class of 2022. Walker Howard, quarterback out of St. Thomas More. Will Campbell, the big offensive lineman out of Neville. And now Jacoby Matthews, defensive back out of Ponchatoula. All committed to the Tigers for the class of 2022. He is a 6'2", 205, listed as a safety. According to the 247 composite, he is the 30th overall player in the country, the second best safety in the country, the third best player in the state of Louisiana. He is a 5-star. Jacoby Matthews has committed to LSU. What you know about him?
I don't know a whole lot about him on the field, but I'll say this. I was at a baseball game in Ponchatoula the other day, and a friend of you and I's, Benny Latino, longtime Major League scout, was he was watching the pitcher from Ponchatoula, who's a really good player, and his own regard, and they were scouting him for the major league draft. And so we were just kind of oohing and on about how hard this kid throws. And he looks at me, he's like, he ain't the best player in Ponchatoula. And so he started telling me about this kid and how good he was and such a good player. And so, yeah, man, let me ask you something. Doesn't it always seem like Alabama comes in and takes the top players in the state, or at least one or two of those guys? I mean, this doesn't happen every year where you get all three of them, or three of the top three at least.
I think perception matters a lot.
Okay.
I think when there are high-profile kids that commit, that always feels like that's a much bigger story. That commit to Alabama, that leave the state. That always feels like that's a much bigger story than the ones that you get. Like when Ishmael Sopsher picked Alabama, it was like meltdown here. Well, Sopsher lasted a year in Tuscaloosa, and now he's transferred. I think he's out at USC. When Hootie Jones picked Alabama, well, like honest to goodness, LSU didn't want Hootie Jones. You have to recruit him because he's a high-profile kid in your state. They wanted Jamal Adams. They thought Jamal was the better player. Oh, by the way, that worked out okay. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's players they wanted that they didn't get. And they wanted Dylan Moses, obviously. I mean, you want Christian Harris. Like, you want some of these guys that are, especially, I mean, look, Alabama had 3 starting linebackers this year, all from Baton Rouge, and LSU didn't have a single one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's players that LSU obviously wanted. I'm not saying that in any way. But sometimes the storyline, that narrative, I mean, obviously Devontae Smith's a kid from Louisiana, wins the Heisman. But I think that storyline gets built up. My whole thing with recruiting is and always will be. By the way, Shea Dixon's going to be with us at 5 o'clock. Kind of had an inkling this might be coming down today. So yeah. Shea's going to join us at 5, and he'll tell us all about this. But I think, my feeling on recruiting is and has always been just sign 25 awesome players. Obviously, you want to get the best players from your state, but your LSU, have yourself perennially in that top 5 recruiting class in the country. Whoever's arbitrary rankings, that matters to whatever. Generally, if you're in that mix, if you're among the top 5 classes in the country, you sign 25 really good players. And if you do your job with roster management and signing the right players, the right positions, and you develop kids, you're going to be contending for championships. And that's why LSU, over the better part of the past 2 decades, has been competing for championships. They've won 3 national titles and played for a 4th because they keep signing really, really good players, which should never be a problem, signing 25. Now, maintaining your roster and developing those guys, that's where they got to make sure that they're on point. So, man, and no doubt, Ed Ogeron, I've said it a million times, everybody knows it. He's got one superpower. His superpower is the cat can recruit. He's assembled a staff of recruiters, and they keep churning them out. So congrats to the Tigers, the staff, landing a big 5-star safety out of Ponchatoula, Jacoby Matthews, the 3rd 5-star from Louisiana to commit to this Tiger class for 2022. With that being the case, how could you possibly be upset about anything?
You couldn't. You shouldn't, at least. But
somehow I have a feeling you might be.
A little bit. I mentioned going to the game, the Ponchatoula baseball game. So, son's playing high school baseball, so I've had the pleasure of being a fan recently, whereas before I was coaching. Always. I noticed something the last week, and I'd like to share it with you guys about the fans in the stands.
Would love to hear this.
Not just baseball. This is any sport.
All of the sports.
Dear fans that constantly yell at umpires. I'm all for the "come on, Blue" guy. I like that guy.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with the emotional outburst that is uncontrollable when you believe your team has been screwed on a call. I call.
Yeah.
That happens. If your son, for instance, is called out on a close play and he's been really struggling at the plate, I can totally understand the frustration that's associated with the call not going your way. And in no way is this directed at you. That one little singular outburst, I get it. I'm not asking you to sit on your hands and shut your mouth. This letter is for the fan that unmercifully hammers officials after a call doesn't go their way. The fan that takes it upon his or herself, because ladies do this too.
Oh, yes, they do.
Big
they might
time.
be worse.
Mama Bear will get them.
Oh.
Okay? The fan that takes it upon his or herself to not only ruin the official's day, but also ruin the game watching experience for everyone close to them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're that person, shut your mouth and grow up. Officials are human. They make mistakes. They're not doing their best to make sure that little Johnny has a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care how many lessons you've paid for. They don't care that there's scouts at the game. They don't even care that Aunt Maud is at the game from Brobridge, and it's her first time that she's seen her favorite nephew play ball.
Aunt Maud, huh?
Yep. That was for you.
Does anybody know a Maud?
That was for you.
Do you know Maud?
Nope.
Do you have an Aunt Maud?
From Brobridge, no
Brobridge.
less.
Aunt Maud from Brobridge. Nailed it. Maud.
They only care about doing their best to get the call right. They want to officiate a clean game, get their money, and go home without you cussing and screaming at them.
Mm-hmm. It's not their fault they suck at their job.
Like I said, the unplanned outburst is expected. I get it. I do that.
Ah, Blue!
I do it a lot.
Squeezing our pitcher.
And then he misses the call. Then he calls the same pitch, and you get the same spot. Like that's mine. Or if he misses a call, next guy hits a double, and I yell, "That one's on you, Blue!
Get off your knees! You're blowing the game."
Yep. One time though, like you're good.
Was that too much?
Nope. It was perfect. They only care about doing the best. They want to get the job. They want to get the call right. They want to officiate a clean game. They want to get their money. They want to go home without cussing and screaming. Like I said before, the unplanned outburst is expected. Sometimes it's even welcomed by fans and coaches. But to yell for 3 innings after a questionable strike call was made is just stupid. You make yourself look like an idiot, and you embarrass everyone around you. You do embarrass everyone around you and everyone that you came into the park with. They got their hand. Oh my gosh, would you just shut up? Like, that happens. Here's the deal.
At what point do you turn around and be like, "Hey, shut up"?
Clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. Okay. If the youth umpire at Traction this weekend isn't any good, I got news for you. If he was good, he'd be umpiring in high school. If the high school umpire that I go to tonight out in Denham Springs isn't any good, it's okay, because if he was good, he'd be umpiring the LSU game tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if the guy umpiring the LSU game stinks, that's okay too, because if he was any good, he'd be in the minor leagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
The minor league guy stinks, but that's all right, because if he was good, he'd be in the major leagues.
Got it. Makes sense. And if he's in the major leagues, he's Angel Hernandez, and he still sucks.
And I got news for everybody out there listening to this letter. The guys in the major leagues, they suck.
Yes.
So stop wasting your breath. They all stink.
Yes.
Sincerely, Ryan.
This is After Further Review, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Quick break, come back, do a little kick rock. Stick around on AFR.
AFR.
Oh, my guy Shane Danton and our friends over at Pinnacle Exterior Construction. They're heating up, Rhino.
Getting hot. Saw a truck.
I mean, it's impossible to miss. The Pinnacle green that's all over the place.
Digi-camo?
Actually, one of the workers over there did his truck, wrapped his truck in Digi-camo. You cannot miss it. It's impossible to miss. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Some of the benefits of working with Pinnacle. Look, there's a lot of companies that can dig a hole and build a pool, right? But they control the schedule because they do the work in-house without the subcontractors. So it's easier to control the quality. They can be on time, get you finished in a more timely manner, and they can offer better pricing. They dig, pump, seal their own pools. They do their own tile, drainage, concrete, design, and collaboration. So when you're not leaning on subcontractors for all of that work, you can have a smoother process that's more cost-efficient as well. It's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Make your outdoor space a showplace. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
It's just like an eyebrow.
It's a butthead.
No. No, that's way finer. Trust me, I know.
That ain't an eyebrow.
Brent, let me know when we're back.
About 30 seconds ago.
I don't believe you. Can you get us an update on the poll question, Brain, please?
Hitting refresh as we speak.
Okay.
Is it what Ryan thinks it is? 57% say no.
I mean,
42% say yes.
How many people voted in the poll that have no context whatsoever as to what the poll actually is asking?
Yeah, this is not follow. There's no internals on this one. I'm not Gallup. This is just the Citizens Bank poll question of the day.
And Ryan just brought it in here, the item in question. If you're watching on CST or on the Bayou Forward 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, whatever we call it, there's a paper towel right there with an object on it, which contains some human's DNA, some human who has been inside of this building recently.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom. This object was on the sink.
It's a curly, black hair.
Theriot is insinuating that it is a It is from a nether region.
It's a nether region hair.
And
I'm not insinuating. That's what it
I'm
is.
saying that I don't know how it's physically possible for that hair, if it is what you're saying it is, to have gotten up onto the ledge of the sink in that bathroom.
I don't have the
It
answer
is
to that.
it is a high sink.
That's right.
And there's no reason why anybody would be exposed
None.
that high
Zero.
to get said hair onto the sink.
I agree with that.
And I also cannot ever recall a time while handling my business that I ended up with one of those on my hand, which would necessitate removing it from my hand onto the sink.
I like you
yes,
two are
Brian.
like y'all are like poking at it during the break with ink
With his
pens.
pen, look at it.
You
No,
got
I
like
mean, we're looking at it.
Yeah, you're poking at it. It's like a bad scene from CSI Miami.
Put it down. No, don't stop.
It's like a bad scene from CSI Miami. I'm waiting for him to drop like a David Caruso line right before the intro. Like right before we come back from break, he's like, "This whole situation gives me that sinking feeling."
I never saw that show. Have you seen that show? Yeah.
No.
Brand was all on his own with that.
But here's the thing.
I was proud of that one too.
Sorry.
It's not a.
Somebody listening got it, though. So I guarantee you somebody listening got it.
It's not a hair from your head.
Well, I don't have any hair.
That's not an eyelash.
I think that could, not an eyelash, eyebrow. I think there is a very strong possibility that is an eyebrow. Or what if it's what if it's an arm hair? Let me do this. Watch this. Watch this.
Put it on there next to it.
I just plucked an arm hair and I put it right next to it. Look at that. Look how long and curly that arm hair is.
No chance.
It's an arm hair.
It's much thicker than your arm hair. You have thick hair.
It's light.
You have heavy
My arm
hair.
hair is light.
Your hair is thick and heavy. That thing is more curly, and it's heavier.
It could be a beard hair. It could be a beard hair.
Could be a beard
It
hair.
could be a beard hair.
It could be a beard hair.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
It's a beard hair.
I don't think it is.
What if it came out of T-Bob or Hester's beard or what couldn't have come out of my beard?
It couldn't have come out of Hester's beard. I don't think his is that long. And
Yeah,
T-Bob's-
Hester's beard's got long. And the other thing that I've learned since wearing a little bit of a beard, even as thin as this looks, as short as this looks, I mean, the hair is actually long when you get down to the root.
That's somebody's hair from their butt. That's what I think that is.
Now, see, because you're even taking. Now
I
you're
think
not,
they wiped. What I think happened is they wiped.
No.
It got on their hand. They went to
No.
wash. Not the.
There's no.
Who didn't get on their hand? But they went to wash their hands. It
No.
was somewhere on their hand and it fell off.
That
That's
just
a butt
doesn't
hair.
happen. That
That's
doesn't
a
happen
butt
when you
hair.
wear.
But it could have happened.
Do you have butt hair?
No, but I'm
Okay.
saying.
I have butt hair. Brain, do you have butt hair? Do you have butt hair?
No.
Do you shave your butt hair?
I get rid of it, yes.
Sometimes.
Do you wax your butt hair? What, Brain?
Do we need to get into details here?
I'd like
Yes.
to know that. I would love to know
We're
that.
so far down this road. Why are you turning back now?
Clippers.
Okay.
The same clippers that you'd use for everything else.
Yeah, for sure. You got to keep that stuff. But my point is, but you
Technically, yes. I'm not bald. I'm not butt bald.
The point is,
butt bald.
That doesn't get onto your hand when you're wiping.
It could.
No, it doesn't.
It could.
I'm telling you, it
if
doesn't.
you're a back wiper and you're getting in there and you rub up on it, it could. It is a possibility.
No.
Oh, come on.
It's going into the paper. I had all this good stuff I wanted to talk about. And we just did much better stuff. Let's do Kick Rocks.
Kick Rocks.
Brain's on fire today.
Oh, bald butt
It's
Brain
now
over there.
time to
on
Kick
fire.
Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Roto-Rooter Plumbing.
NBA can kick rocks
Hey, when I'm
because
getting
they're
brains
so
for
dang
Christmas.
sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick Rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Hey, Paul, somebody on Twitter said we're muted on CST. Actually said best show ever. You're welcome for being muted because you just missed that whole dialogue. But if you wouldn't mind checking the audio, that would be helpful. It's probably them, and they just have their volume down.
NBC analyst and quarterback evaluator Chris Sims.
Who?
can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Chris has Kellen Mond ahead of Justin Fields and Trey Lance in his mock draft. Says he's a better quarterback, and I've watched Kellen Mond stink for the last however many years,
4.
and he should be fired, Chris Sims, because Kellen Mond stinks.
Yeah, stinks.
Get on down the road and kick
Not a good
rocks.
quarterback, and you're not good at your job.
Stinks.
Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Ben Askren.
Yep, I'm
Can
familiar.
Kick rock.
Kick rocks.
For showing up at his fight against Jake Paul, extremely overweight,
And he was overweight, there ain't no doubt.
not even trying,
Didn't take that seriously.
and then laughing as he walked out of the ring
To go cash his check.
to go cash his $500,000 check. When you have people that are,
Would you eat a punch for $500,000?
I would.
Yeah, right.
But you also have people on the other side that are begging to get into fights like that.
Who wants to pay?
Grassroots guy.
What are people going to pay? Yeah, you can find a fight anywhere. What are people willing to pay to see you?
Not $500,000. And then the last one I got
When I
here.
watched Clifford Etienne fight Mike Tyson years ago, do you remember this?
I do.
Got $1 million. Etienne, I think, is in prison now. Etienne, he takes a punch. Etienne's laying on his back with his boxing gloves on, looking up at the ceiling, reaches into his mouth, takes out his mouthpiece while laying on his back, and waits to get 10 counted. Guy took a dive. He ate a punch, collected his $1 million, and walked out there. I mean, come on, man.
I don't like it.
I'm not saying I like it either, but it's part of what happened.
So if you're not from the Baton Rouge area and don't live here, I apologize.
Yeah.
But you'll understand when I go into detail on this.
Okay.
College Drive turns into Lee Drive, close to campus.
Yeah.
Lee turns into Brightside.
It doesn't turn into it. It just, when you cross a street, it becomes a new street.
There we go.
Yes.
Becomes Lee. Lee becomes Brightside as you get closer. And
right.
They have changed the traffic lanes to where 2 lanes now cross over onto Brightside because the traffic was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, which is great.
Good.
Thank you. However, after you cross over the railroad tracks onto Brightside, the 2 lanes merge into one. There's painted on the ground arrows that specifically say which lane goes where and which one doesn't. The stupid college kids that try to race me every single time to get in front, and you leave me with the choice. Do I run you off the road because I've got a big truck?
Yep.
And I would run you would be off the road, or do I slow down and let you in for being an idiot?
Yeah.
And it's happened twice in the last 2 days. Some little stupid car. And I'm not even trying to race them, Matt. I'm just going the regular speed that I'm supposed to go.
They see your big truck and assume you're not going to have any giddy up. And so they're just going to speed and get ahead of you.
I don't think it even matters what vehicle it is. I just think they're inconsiderate jerks. And they got to be Mr. Me first. That's what I think's going on.
Maybe. But I think more so it's, like, I'll tell you when I'm in that situation, not at that intersection in particular, but in that situation, I always consider, if it's an elderly woman in a Crown Victoria, I'm taking off and getting ahead of her.
There you go.
If it's a truck that's hauling a trailer, I'm taking off and getting ahead of it. If it's someone in a sporty-looking sedan, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, they're probably going to punch it, and I'll give them the opportunity to punch it and go. And if they don't, then I'm going.
You go.
Yeah.
But what if they stay right next to you?
Well, then they're idiots.
That's what's happening.
I'm agreeing with you. Yes.
They're staying right next to me until I either have to. Really, if I sped up, I would run them off.
Yes.
The road. So I have to slow down now and let those idiots in. Those guys can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Who has the right of way? That's what must be considered.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
I know you do.
And there's a pubic hair sitting on the table right
That
there.
is a very strong possibility that is what it is. I'm not ready to say definitively, without question, that it's what it is, but there's a very strong possibility. It is, in fact, what that is. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. A lot of dealerships right now dealing with a little shortage of inventory. Great news about South Point is they're not. I was there earlier this week, talked to Mr. Bob over there, and, man, they have a full lot. Atlases and Tiguans. If you're shopping new vehicles and you're having trouble finding lots with vehicles on them, go see our friends at South Point Volkswagen. They're very fortunate right now to have a full lot. Airline just north of Highland, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? This chair can kick rocks. I think I'm almost convinced now that T-Bob has killed every chair. It's got to be what it is, just because he's a very large person.
He's a big boy.
And I think he's just killing the hydraulics in these chairs. It's like every time I sit in a chair, it just bounces down. I pop it up. It's like I think I'm just going to start bringing my own chair here.
Do you remember the chairs downstairs?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, man.
Why has this been a forever battle as long as I've been here? Like 11 years I've been fighting this chair battle. Why can't we just have good chairs?
That's it. I'm not asking for a lot.
I'm not asking for a lot. That's what I should have put in my new contract. I want my own chair. That's
Nobody else sits
when I
on it.
sign my next contract 2 years from now, my own chair is going into my next contract.
Sure.
All right, it's after further review. Something, honest to goodness, true story, something awesome I want to tell you about when we come back. It's a great way that you can help us in honoring our late friend Carly McCord. Stick around with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Well, weather this weekend's going to be hit or miss, but when the sun peeks through, go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. It is an awesome time to get out and just plant something. The weather, you might have some overnight rain tonight and tomorrow, but the weather, for the most part, you're going to have some good weather this weekend, certainly on Sunday. Go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. Want to plant flowers, trees, shrubs, vegetable garden, seeds?
Blueberries?
Yes. What else would you love? You know what Erica loves? Dippledinas.
I love those.
Do you know what a dippledinia is?
No.
Amazing flower. It really is. Like the dippledinas we planted over the summer are still there.
They're hardy.
They came back after the freeze. It's crazy. Anyway, and here's part of it. Because their flowers aren't put on a box truck and shipped in from another state like the big box stores, they're grown here. They're acclimated to South Louisiana, so they'll live longer. Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. Patient Plus PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
Experience the Zurich Classic in a whole new way. This year, you can purchase a Best of the Zurich Classic Pass, which will get you into all the venues you know and love, where you'll feast on great food and drinks from some of your favorite local restaurants. Come enjoy the outdoors and see the best golfers in the world. But hurry, attendance is limited. This year, all safety protocols will be followed to ensure a safe tournament experience for everyone. The Zurich Classic. For more info and tickets, go to ZurichGolfClassic.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
Shea Dixon will be with us in 25 minutes from right now. LSU picks up a commitment from another five-star Ponchatoula safety, Jacoby Matthews, committed to LSU about a half an hour ago. Shea Dixon in 30 minutes, and our buddy David Dellucci from Cali. He'll be with us 1 hour from right now. Luch and Tom Hart were on the call last night for Game 1 of LSU Ole Miss. We'll have Luch back with us to preview tonight's Game 2 as LSU goes up against Doug Nikhazy. We get to ask Ryan in about 15 minutes from right now, so we've got questions for Theriot. You can line them up. What's your thought on the Tigers tonight going against Nikhazy? Lefty, a 1.86 ERA, more than a strikeout per inning. It's a gigantic challenge against a guy who's likely going to be a first-round draft pick.
Anytime you're facing a guy like this, you have to have a defined plan going into the game. You have to be disciplined enough hitters to be able to stick to that plan throughout the game. Now it's either try to get his pitch count up, get him out, or it's let's try to make this action happen early and get to him and try to get him rattled and shaken. Where offensive teams get in trouble when you have one of these elite-type pitchers, Matt, is when you're in between on your plan and you're in between on your approach, because he's going to win most of the time. His stuff is too good. So, do you make him uncomfortable? Do you bunt a little bit? Do you try to get him in the stretch? Hit and run? There's a lot of things you can do with guys like this.
Are we at a point in the season where, like everything you just said, to get a pitcher off of his timing, out of his rhythm, I'm on board with? Are we just at the point in the season where this offense just isn't going to do that? We're in the 6th SEC week. We're 10 weeks into this season. Like, these are things that you would expect to have already been part of an offensive approach.
I think developing an identity is something that probably starts to happen in the fall when all these guys get together. Yeah. And then as the spring starts and you play, your weaker schedule before you get into the SEC, you start to see that identity start to come out. And we can tell as fans or guys that are watching the game a lot, okay, we've got a team that slaps it around and steals bases. We've got a team that goes gap to gap, or we've got a team that drives the ball over the fence. My problem is early I thought it was a team that drove the ball over the fence.
It was, yeah.
And those guys were doing that, and now it's kind of switched a little bit to where, look, we're going to have to manufacture some runs here. Now that has a lot to do with the pitchers getting better. Better competition you're facing, but the power doesn't disappear. I think it's a thought process, an approach, mindset. I don't think you're at the point now, to where you just throw the towel in. You still try to execute your game plan.
LSU and Ole Miss, 6:30 first pitch tonight. It'll be A.J. Labus against Doug Nikhazy. And Nikhazy is the reigning national pitcher of the week. He and Marceau actually shared the honors from collegiate baseball and Baseball America. Like, one had one, the other had the other. Last week, Nikhazy threw a complete game shutout. Or as Patrick Coogan would call it, a CG shut piece. CG shut piece is what he would call it. Complete game shutout, one hitter. He's a really good pitcher. He's a guy. This is going to be very challenging for LSU tonight. Nikhazy has one loss on the season. It was earlier in the year. It was a tough luck loser. He allowed, I think, 2 runs on 3 hits to TCU and took the loss. The most he's given up was a few weeks ago against Arkansas. He gave up 4 runs on 7 hits in 6 1/3. So just for a little bit of comparables, it's if you're LSU, excuse me, if you're LSU, you just really need A.J. Labus to throw the game of his life. Like, you need one of those types of performances. Like when I think back to Eric Walker, his freshman year back in 2017, Eric Walker threw a complete game shutout at Arkansas that season. It was just a game where his stuff was working. He was efficient. They couldn't get good swings on it. He induced a ton of ground balls that day. It was the best performance he ever had. Mm-hmm. And I think it just has to be one of those types of days for Labus if he's going to go toe-to-toe with Nikhazy. And remember, both teams did use their closers yesterday. So, honest to goodness, neither team is in a great spot in the bullpen. I mean, you saw Ole Miss's bullpen last night. They're not. That's been they got great frontline pitching. Their bullpen has been a bit of an issue, as obviously as we've discussed here, as is LSU's bullpen. But something to keep an eye on tonight. All right, it's After Further Review, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm thrilled to share this with you. Of course, everyone knows that a little more than a year ago, we lost our friend Carly McCord. Carly's sister, Kaylee, who has become a dear friend in their entire family. They're just awesome people. Kaylee has a children's clothing line called Little Luann. And I didn't know this because Carly never shared this with me ever. And as close as we were, as all we talked, she never told me this, but she apparently had shared with Kaylee that she always wanted to do something for Drew. When we were in the hospital with Drew when Drew was born is when Carly was working on the show. We kind of had a transition with Carly and James to Carly at the time, but she always wanted to do something for Drew, she said. This is Kaylee reiterating this. Obviously, Carly passed last December, a little more than a year ago. Well, Kaylee wanted to do something for Drew in Carly's memory. So Kaylee came up with the idea of using her clothing line and developing a specific line, which she calls Carly's Little Angels. So if you're watching, this is the website for Little Luann. And if you look at the top right, the tab is Carly's Little Angels. And so last year, Kaylee developed the first rainbow line, Carly's Little Angels, and she gave the proceeds to Drew's foundation, which helped with St. Lillian Academy. And Kaylee asked Erica and I to help her choose this year's recipients of the funds. And a family that we've gotten close with is the Morales family. Oddly enough, and this is a total coincidence, but Michael Morales, Michael is their son, Derek, Michael's father, went to Catholic High with me, and we ended up in Texas at Texas Children's Houston at the same time by happenstance. Michael has HLHS, which is hypoplastic left heart syndrome. It is a very severe congenital heart defect. Michael was doing exceptionally well, and he went to Boston earlier this year to get a pacemaker put in, and during that whole process, he suffered a stroke, and he's had extreme complications since. They thought they were going to be in Boston for a few days. They ended up being there for several months. Obviously, the medical bills, the care, subsequent now the therapy, everything involved is taxing and expensive. And so Eric and I recommended to Kaylee that the Morales family be the recipient of the funds from Carly's Little Angels this year. She agreed. Our son, Drew, and Michael have done therapy together over at Abilities in Baton Rouge. So they're kind of like little therapy buddies too. But anyway, I guess the ask is, if you have small children, please, go buy something from the Carly's Little Angels line. If you don't, maybe you know someone who does, you could buy it as a gift. For someone you know, or maybe you could recommend to someone you know to go purchase something. The clothes are adorable. It's a children's clothing line. Again, it's Little Luann, Little Louanne, Little Luann. So, and if you go to the website, littleluann.com, you'll see there on the top right, the Carly's Little Angels tab. And I'll tell you obviously, Drew, I think, would be maybe a little too big for some of the clothes now, but they have blankets as well. And so we bought a blanket for Drew this year. He loves blankies. So anyway, if you could support, that's fantastic. And, I just think so much of the McCords and Kaylee, her married name now is Peterson, but they're just amazing people, and they found a way amid their family's darkest days, their greatest tragedy, to bring so much good and light and help and hope in Carly's name, and in her memory. And this is another way that Kaylee's doing it. So if you can support, please do. It's a great cause and the money's going to a great family. And it's a massive, massive help. And the clothes are awesome, too. So littleluann.com, littleluann.com. You can see it right there. Just hit the Carly's Little Angels tab on the top right. You'll see it right there. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We got one segment left with Theriot. We always wrap up with Ask Ryan. So jump aboard with us. You can tweet your question at Matt Moscona. You can jump to the Bayou Forward YouTube chat. Get your question in there on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Or you can always text your question in the 225. It's 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ask Ryan is next.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's what Insurance Network of Louisiana does. Every single day, they take homeowners and vehicle owners like you and me. They look at the current insurance coverage that they have, and they see if they can shop for you to find you better coverage for less money. It's that easy. Now, they shut down in 15 minutes from right now, so it might be better to go to the website, lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net, to see if maybe they can shop for you, to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. Adam sent me this testimonial. AFR listener named Kim, Mike, saved $2,000 on his home, auto, and motorcycle while bringing his wind hail deductible from $2,400 down to $1,000. So he lowered his deductible, got a better coverage, and saved $2,000 a year. Better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net.
12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with 12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
You guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Auctioner Health.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, Trollin Motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
No matter what type of exercise you like to do, let Spectrum Fitness be a part of your exercise routine. Our low monthly rate.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We get to Ask Ryan here. Get your questions. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or you can text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Tell the people about Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
8-time Best of the Best award winners over at MBOBR, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge. Go check them out. MBOBR.com. My guy Nick and Hess, they take care of everything you need from the new cars, certified, pre-owned, whatever it may be. Feature Friday. Josh is online on Facebook, on Instagram, featuring a C-Class. Beautiful vehicle, dark navy. Go check it out. It's the C300, Diamond Grille, AMG wheels, lighting package, saddleback interior, which I call the peanut butter interior. I like that color. And as always, Mercedes-Benz featuring some of the best safety features going. So go check them out at MBOBR.com, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
Josh Spears said, fun fact, beard hair and nether region hair are the same hair follicles. Is that true?
I don't know.
It's got to be.
Maybe.
Somebody texted it. It's got to be true, right?
Josh said it, then it's true.
Raymond Kluot. Ask Ryan why LSU baseball purples don't match.
Yeah, the hats are different purples. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I saw it last night. I noticed it last night at least.
Ask Ryan. Doug from Lake Charles wants to know, what is the LSU chances to get Kim Mulkey as our women's coach?
About 80%.
Oh, that didn't happen? Because I saw a report that she was being introduced today. That's not a thing that happened today?
No, they got to wait.
Oh, really? That didn't happen today?
They got to wait a little while.
Yeah, right. Okay. Ask Ryan, which LSU quarterback transfers this fall?
I think it's going to be TJ probably.
Stephen Jacobs asked Ryan, do you think LSU baseball makes it to the College World Series?
Probably not this year. No.
Do you mean like ever again? I mean, I'm sure at some point again.
Yeah, they're going to go back.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
Was he talking about today or like this year?
I think he's talking about this year.
Yeah.
I don't think so this year.
I mean,
it's going to be tough.
Stephen, I think the objective is just try to get this team in the tournament. Like, let's try to get into regional play. I mean, first you got to get into the SEC tournament.
Got to get in.
I mean, there's 4 teams at the bottom that are kind of wallowing right now, and 2 of those aren't going to make it. You make sure you make it to Hoover.
You got to get to Hoover first.
It's significant. Ask Ryan. Cliff Nelson asked Ryan, have you ever gotten thrown out tagging up from first base to second base, costing a run for your team?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Ask Ryan. Todd Peterson.
Got him. He was looking down. He wasn't even paying attention.
Not even paying attention. This is devastating. I mean,
Chad Peterson.
He was having a good day.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Let's see. Stephen Tremuda. Ask Ryan, how does Trey Morgan match up as far as freshman starters at LSU?
Trey Morgan's having a great year. I mean, he's
I think he means kind of like all time, maybe. Other freshman starters.
Well, just for comparison, Mike Fontenot hit like 350 with 20-something homers his freshman year.
He didn't hit 20 homers.
Well, okay. Something like that. Close. What did he hit? Let's pull it up.
I'll look it up. Go ahead. Keep going.
But he's having a phenomenal year. So, I don't
know. 17. Good season.
17.
No doubt. 353, 17 homers, 103 hits. He raked, man, on that championship team. Then in 01, he hit 14 homers, hit 339.
But he's having a good year. Different bats, but you know.
Ask Ryan. Did you ever get involved with the Tara Broadmoor egg throwing rivalry activity? That's from E.K. Sullivan.
Possibly a time or two.
Ask Ryan. Does the wood type matter when selecting a bat? Like, do you prefer oak or maple, etc.? From Greg.
I don't know that anybody uses oak. I don't think oak is a heavy wood.
Heavy.
Yep. But maple, it's a little bit more dense. Ash, it's probably the most common used type of wood.
Purple Barney. Ask Ryan. Better quarterback coming out of college. Chris Sims or Kellen Mond?
Seriously.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Ask Ryan. Best weekend series baseball uniforms outside of LSU.
Ole Miss's baby blues.
Oh.
Love them.
So tired.
I love them.
Why is everybody doing that again? Like, it's not
Because it looks
1978.
good.
It doesn't. It was a thing, and it's nostalgic now. It doesn't look great.
Yeah, it does. That's why
it's an
everybody does
eyesore. It doesn't. It's nostalgic. People think they're supposed to think it looks great. It doesn't.
It does look good. Looks like Broadmoor.
Ask Ryan, is your home high-tech enough to have a landline? Matt's is.
I don't get it.
On the companion show last night, people found out we have a landline, which I have no idea, no understanding why we continue to pay for a landline, but my wife insists. All right, you do it for us here in hour number 2. Stick around. Shea Dixon next.
AFR.
Brought to you by HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com, where the guy to my left always likes to say, do business with someone you know. That would be me and you.
Me.
You were up on a roof today, weren't you?
A couple.
Yeah? What's going on?
Today? There's, a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of high winds. I had some hail throughout Baton Rouge, so the phones have been ringing. We love it. Get to go out and meet some good people, get on their roofs and see if they have damage. So it's been a lot of fun the last few weeks. It's been super busy, but give us a call.
No obligation, free roof inspection. If you had hail or suspect you did, especially if you see shingles on the ground, you probably had some wind damage. We'll always come out, give you that free roof inspection. If you need to file an insurance claim, we can do that for you. Insurance specialists on staff that can help you file a claim to where all you have to do is pay your deductible. If you're a realtor and a faulty roof has negated a deal, we'd like to help with that. Maybe you're an insurance agent, we'd like to be your preferred vendor. Love a chance to earn your business. HUDCOroofing.com.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
It's time to get serious about your lawn. It's time to step up to the best mower brand money can buy. For nearly 4 decades, Skag has been the easy choice for lawn care professionals. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best when it comes to mowing your lawn. There's sure to be a Skag model that's perfect for your yard, big or small. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood.
Contact All Outdoor Power Equipment in Bruley.
Skag, simply the best.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting dreams come true.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. 2 of the top teams in the AFC pull off a trade today. The Chiefs get offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. in a deal with the Ravens. Adam Schefter reports Baltimore gets 4 draft picks, including a first-rounder this year. Kansas City gets 2 picks in that deal. The NFL draft opens next Thursday night in Cleveland. Draft analyst Matt Miller says there's probably too much attention on the first round.
So many teams have this go for broke mentality that if you don't fill that need in the first round, you haven't filled it. And roster construction in the NFL right now would tell you that is not the truth.
Matt Miller on Barton Hahn. Kevin Durant is out for the Nets tonight against the Celtics with a thigh bruise. That game tips off our ESPN doubleheader at 7:30 Eastern, followed by the Nuggets and Warriors. This just in, Rockets CEO Tad Brown says he will resign at the end of the season. Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal both make weight for tomorrow night's main event of UFC 261 in Jacksonville. Coverage at 10 Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN+.
The Lakers are back in action on Saturday night, and so is AD. Tune in to hear The Lake Show as they get back into the win column at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC. Then react with us on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin Monday morning.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplett. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. David Dellucci, bottom of this hour. We'll preview LSU Ole Miss Game 2. He was on the call on ESPNU last night for Game 1. A 5-4 LSU win. Can the Tigers take the series? We'll talk about it with Luch. Something that the Tigers have taken is the commitment from 5-star safety Jacoby Matthews, who about an hour ago committed to LSU. Our buddy Shea Dixon of Geaux 247, good enough to join us now to talk about it. Shay, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you?
Fantastic. Give us, if you would, the lowdown here on Matthews. I see a 5-star talent. Clearly, this is someone in state who they had to get.
Yeah, I mean, this was big. And you look at now, well, let's first start with Matthews. 6'2", 205 coming out of Ponchatoula. And when Finley left Ponchatoula, he took over and started, playing quarterback in the wing tee, but also as a safety linebacker type. And you can see when he's the quarterback, and Steve Wolfbarger, a national director of scouting, gave a good quote, I thought, on this, but he sees so many kids around the country and then watches so much film. And he was like, look, a lot of kids or athletes play quarterback, but you put on his film and he's not throwing it, but you can tell he ain't just doing it to help the team out. I mean, this kid is a competitor, a leader. You can see the short area burst at quarterback, the long runs, he's done them. But defensively, he's just so smart, high football IQ. And when you're 6'2", 205, 207, as a junior in high school, you're one of the more well-put-together prospects who are kind of on the elite end in the country. And he can play in the box. He can play over the top. He's a man-to-man guy when he needs to be. He's what you, in my opinion, kind of what you thought Jacoby Stevens would always be, or maybe what a Derwin James or someone like that is, that's in the 6'2", 210, 215 range, and can literally do anything, whether it's linebacker, DB, safety over the top. He can play it. There's no doubt that Walker Howard and Will Campbell and Jacoby are the top three players in the state. Now all three of them are 5-stars and all committed to LSU. But he's the number one defensive player, the number 2 safety in the country. A lot of people won't be surprised if he ends up number 1. So it's a need position, whether it be safety or linebacker. He can do them both. And there was a lot of thought early on, Matt, that look, Will Campbell domino dropped, Walker Howard domino drops, and everyone thought, well, Jacoby Matthews has always said he's leaning out of state. He's leaning out of state. When the dead period opens up, he's going to be taking visits, and it'll be even tougher. And for LSU to get this done today, and for him to say, I'm done, I'm 100% committed, I'm not going to be looking around, is absolutely massive. I mean, this was the biggest defensive piece they wanted in this class.
So how did they get it done before he took visits?
I think Mickey Joseph and Coach O really put in a lot of work here. And again, this morning, the announcing of the hire of Mason Smith in the recruiting department at LSU was key because he's a guy who he went to school at LSU, but has known a lot of these kids, has recruited them to state for the past few years now. And when you look around Louisiana, state was always early on kids with offers and building relationships. And they weren't stealing any kids from LSU, but they ended up getting some really nice prospects. And the announcement, I think, of Mason Smith today sort of pushed even further what the work that Mickey Joseph's done, the work that Ed O has done, the work that this whole staff has done, to where Matthews kind of felt, look, there's so many people I feel comfortable with in Baton Rouge. I'm ready to go ahead and get this done.
Shea Dixon's with us on Twitter, @Shea Dixon. So let's look at the safety position, Shea. It was obviously a big need. They addressed it in this class. How does that look for the class of 2022 and how it's sort of shaping up?
This is the first safety commitment they've had. So they've got 3 corners committed, which, that cornerback room is going to turn over. But I suddenly feel a lot better about safety, I don't know about you, than I did before the spring when Mo Hampton transferred out, because now Jay Ward can do it. You know what you're getting out of Todd Harris. Jordan Tolles he looked good in the spring game. O said that during spring he turned a bit of a corner. And then you're bringing in Sage Ryan. You've got Derek Davis as an early enrollee. You'll have Matthew Langlois, who I love, coming in at safety. So they've got guys. It's just young and inexperienced for this year. But when you add Jacoby Matthews, he's a day one guy wherever you're putting him. I think now if you can add maybe one more safety, maybe 2, 3 total, you'll feel really good about just get past 2021, which I think Jay Ward's going to be a huge help there. Yeah. And then you'll be good to go at safety.
Let's look at the numbers, Shea. Tigers ranked 3rd in the country by 247 or the 247 composite. 13th commit. Let's talk about where they are numbers-wise, what they're looking, and still needs remaining.
Yeah, 13 commits, and 9 of them are from Louisiana. So you see during a dead period, they've really capitalized on what they know, which is the local guys. Jake Johnson, Max's brother, is the number 1 tight end in the country. The out-of-state kids are sort of at positions of need. So I think the Louisiana trend will continue. It's a really deep state this year, and we said this when they had scholarship issues. Recruit more of the Louisiana kids that are just as good as the out-of-state kids that you're taking on the fringe. They're not going to leave as quickly. They'll stay around here because it's not like they're missing home or think that there's a better opportunity. They want to play here. So I like their strategy so far, but I thought it was so important early on. My number one thing was just get Walker Howard and Will Campbell. I mean, this state doesn't produce 5-star quarterbacks and left tackles really ever, but that's not completely true, but certainly on no normal kind of routine year to year, or even every other year. But once they dropped that 2 dominoes, it was go get Jacoby Matthews. And if you get him and you've got around 13, 14 commits, 10, 11 spots left, you can build from there, knowing that the guys you would have really lost sleep over if they would have left would have been those 3. And look, let's give Ed Orgeron credit here. I credit someone on my board who pointed this out, but I didn't even think about it until I went back and looked. Every 5-star in Louisiana, go back to Richard Lawrence, and then when O was D-line coach, signed with LSU. When he got the head coaching job in 2017, every 5-star on the 24/7 composite since then from Louisiana has gone to LSU. And now this year, there's only 3 of them, and all 3 of them are committed to LSU. So you want to talk about pitting up a fence, and it's tough to keep everybody home, right? But if you're going to have people calling in the Matt Moscona show and yelling about, well, why is this 5-star going to Bama or for that hasn't happened recently because they're not. And that's a testament to the staff he's put together and the work they've done and kind of how available he is as a head coach to talk to these kids and parents every single day to where this far out from signing day, that many 5-stars or 3 of them are willing to shut things down.
There's no doubt, Shea. It's his superpower, recruiting, and this it's just stockpiling elite class on top of elite class. There's a couple of others that I wanted to ask you about. You did mention Mason Smith. For those that don't know, a lot of times, Shea, I think the guys that work in the recruiting office or that aren't the on-field coaches doing the recruiting, sometimes their roles aren't clearly defined publicly. Can you shed a little light on who Mason Smith is and what he brings to LSU?
Yeah, I mean, what those guys do is they'll watch the film before the coaches watch the film, right? They're pouring through every kid that in the state, the country. It doesn't matter where they're ranked, and that's a lot of man hours, which is why Orgeron has had a lot of hires, off the field that can put in that kind of time. So they're sort of the first wave of that, and then they'll also often be the first people to contact a kid in terms of, Matt, you're a 5-star, whatever, and we're whoever. You're someone out there in the country, and they're the ones who reach out and say, hey, look, we watched your film. I work at LSU. I put it in front of one of the coaches. They'd like to talk to you, and that's how the coaches start a relationship or give an offer or whatever it might be. So you'll see a lot of times those guys are tagged in tweets from kids about offers and all of that because they're sort of the facilitators of that ground level type thing. But if you want to talk evaluations, and then, God, man, Matt, we've been in the dead period for over a year. I forget that kids actually visit. So when they visit, they're the ones who hang out with the family all day and, do all these things while the coaches are at practice or in film study or in meetings or whatever, or playing a game on Saturday, whatever it might be. Your recruiting staff, your off-field staff are the people that spend a lot of time with them. So, they lost guys like Jeff Martin. That was huge for them. He was a guy who did a lot of good work. Keith Sanchez, and that room's turned over a bit, but we've seen that they've made a handful of new hires, and Mason was the most recent, coming from Mississippi State.
He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon, Go 247. Before you go, I wanted to also ask if you had any update on Eric Gilbert. I feel like I almost have to ask out of obligation because everybody's curious.
Yeah, well, no real solid update. And even if I had someone tell me, like, Shea, it's a done deal, bro, like, report it, I would be very hesitant just because of how this one's gone.
Yeah.
But, look, I think that and I said this before, if he's playing D1 football anywhere this fall, I expect it to be at LSU because I just don't think there's a path for him. Now we're getting into the month of, May? And you've got May, June, July. You got to be in a fall camp by August. In 3 months, I don't see him getting into another school, clearing all of the academic hurdles, clearing all the transfer stuff you need. And obviously they made that one-time free waiver, but the SEC hasn't approved that. So that sort of narrows down the teams that he could go and really hurt you at least for right now. So there's just a lot more hoops to jump through elsewhere. And now even Orgeron has said publicly that they've been in communication again, that Eric came in town and they talked about things. And kind of behind the scenes, I've just been told, look, we put a path into place of how he could get back, what he would need to do on the academic side, all of that to rejoin the team. And I think it's kind of, for me, one of those ball in his court type situations. And it won't surprise me maybe if we hear in the next month that he's enrolled in summer school and he's back in campus, and then you sort of maybe hold your fingers from there. But look, hopefully no one's like just tuning in right there when I said that, because I don't know anything. But I do think that if he winds up playing somewhere, my odds are in LSU's favor.
It would be huge, Shea, and the fact that they have a hat in the ring is a little stunning considering how it all ended. That would be a major coup if they get him back. I think we all know that. All right, Shea Dixon, Go 247. Great news for LSU. 5-star safety commits to LSU today out of Ponchatoula. Shea, thanks, man. We appreciate you.
No, you're very welcome. Thanks for always having me on, Matt.
You got it, man. It's our pleasure. We appreciate you. Y'all make sure you're following Shea on Twitter at Shea Dixon, reading his stuff there at Go 247. Great news for the Tigers today, man. Eddie O keeps rolling, is undeniable when you look at the classes now that they have stacked on top 5 classes stacked on top of each other. I know we've said this before, but I remember back to that Ole Miss 2013 class and when everyone lost their minds when Ole Miss landed Tunsil and Treadwell and Kimdichie and all those guys. It was like, oh, are they ready to compete? It's like, okay, you did that, but now do it again and again and again. And now you have a 4-year cycle of 4 elite classes all built on top of each other. So your roster 1 to 85 are all those dudes. And that's how you compete for a championship. And Ed's done that, which is why I don't think 2021 is a year realistically where LSU is going to be back in the mix competing for a national championship. But the way they have stockpiled talent and the young talent that broke out last year makes me go, man, get through 2021 like you did 2018 on the ascent. And then 2022 is the year where you're realistically looking and going, all right, it's go time again. It's time to make that run. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. David Dellucci in about 16 minutes from right now. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. Of course, we tell you about how they are expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area. COVID care, people receiving their COVID-19 vaccine. More than 30,000 Baton Rougeans have received the COVID vaccine at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. But, of course, the Baton Rouge General is so much more than COVID-19. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Of course, the Bluebonnet campus, the Mid-City location. You've got the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital, which is now open as well. You can see the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital from I-10. If you're on 10 East, look to your left. You can't miss it. It's amazing. Right there at the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital, part of the Baton Rouge General Hospital. And, of course, Baton Rouge General is part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, something else I've told you about. Your local physician here can have clinical collaboration and access to their award-winning research at the Mayo Clinic at no extra cost to you. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level, your cells? Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Was over at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana earlier today. Remember, if you're trying to get beach body ready, they can help. Ideal protein diet to lose those pounds. VeloShape, Ultra Shape, award-winning Vaser Lipo. If you got those trouble spots, diet and exercise can't knock out, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help. Also, medical-grade supplements, award-winning skincare creams. It's all there at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Look and feel like your younger self. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. We will talk to David Dellucci 10 minutes from right now. Kelly High alum, also former All-SEC player at Ole Miss in his day, now at the SEC Network. Luch and Tom Hart were on the call for LSU and Ole Miss last night. Tigers pull off the win 5-4. Waiting for the lineup to be posted. Let me refresh right now just to make sure I didn't miss it. LSU has not yet posted its starting lineup tonight. Curious to see if they do make any changes, if they stick with Drew Bianco at second base, if they make a change there, potentially in the outfield. But it seems like second base might be the only spot where they potentially could make a change in this ball game. But we'll see what Paul Manerio likes to do, and hopefully that lineup's posted before Luch is with us. But that'll be in about 10 minutes from right now. Right now, though, Brain has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
DJ LeMahieu. No, sir. Went 1 for 4 yesterday. That one was a... Do what?
They finally won. They won 6-3.
Yeah,
by the way,
they did.
if you
They beat
remember,
the Indians.
If you remember, that was the game I told you that Otter wanted me to give out beforehand as his best play of the day. It was Cleveland.
Right. And Cleveland had a 3-0 lead early on.
In the first inning.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot to give it out. Whew. Good thing I didn't.
Dodged a bullet.
Dodged it.
1 for 4. It was a single. He did drive in a run, score a run. He also walked once as well. So
I'm just glad they won.
Yeah.
About time.
I'm sure.
I'm feeling like Mets fans.
It's been a rough week.
Is this what it feels like?
Yes. Yeah, we were looking good the first 2 weeks of the season. Week 3, though, the bottom fell out.
Never be one of those.
No. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
It's not a path I'd have others follow me on.
No.
Alex Bregman went 3 for 4 yesterday and drove in 3 runs.
Had a baby.
I know.
Had a baby.
Hitting .326 on the young season. That 3 for 4, though, all 3 were singles. Not that it really matters. He drove in a run, or 3 runs on the night. Moving over to the Zurich Classic.
That's Zurich. German.
R-I-C-H spells rich.
Right, but in this case, it's Rick.
Wait.
Yeah, I know. Weird, right? It's a thing, though.
No, but I thought Zurich was in Switzerland, not Germany.
Okay. It's European.
It is. Not right now, but probably during the next break.
No, European, like the continent.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sam Burns and Billy Horschel. Where were we? Sam Burns and Billy Horschel still tied for third. Well, actually, yesterday was... They're 11 under. They're 1 stroke off the lead.
I thought the show couldn't get any worse than Theriot making pube jokes for half an hour.
If you're American in the bedroom, what are you in the bathroom?
European.
Yeah. Like kid jokes. 11 under. They're 1 stroke off the lead, but there are 2 pairs that are at 12 under. So they're tied for third right now after 2 rounds of the Zurich.
There you go.
Classic of New Orleans. And they've, according to the scoreboard here, or the leaderboard on ESPN, they've been on the 12th hole for like an hour and a half now.
Well, they might be in a weather delay potentially. Maybe you could check on that. Probably, maybe a thing.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. I thought the rain was going to get here before it got there.
Well.
Moving from west to east.
That might be something why you would check on that before you just blurt that out, Brain. News guy. What I can report.
What can you report?
Is that our good buddy Hoon Palmerio, Hunt Palmer, has found his way to the Zurich Classic. And he found Drew Moscona on the 18th fairway.
Hey!
Drew, and here's what we can confirm, though. Yesterday we had the question about the size of the big placard. Well, this answers it for us. Many people have sent me photos of the placard that they've seen there on the 18th fairway of my son Drew and his cardiologist. It's an ad campaign that Children's Hospital of New Orleans did with several patients and et cetera. And they asked Drew to participate. So we saw this yesterday, and the stand-ups looked gigantic. We even opined that it could. You said we should wrap the refrigerator.
Wrap
with
the
it.
fridge.
I don't think that can wrap the fridge. Maybe one side of the fridge. Like Hunt appears taller than that entire stand-up there. It looked much larger.
It did by itself.
From a bit of a distance, but you can clearly see there that it's.
Well, it also was in a different spot, though. No, the bridge was behind it last time. Or no, there was water behind it last time. You think there's more than one?
No, I think that's the same one. That's the same one.
No chance they printed more than one copy.
I wouldn't say no chance, but I think that's the same one. We're just the photograph is from a different angle.
Okay. I can go with that because, the other angle had the other two.
Yes.
Would have been staggered to the left of that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Back.
So you're looking
to the left.
With this one, you're looking back at 17 instead of angled toward 18 green.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Yes.
By the way, 30% chance of rain in New Orleans starting next hour. It really doesn't. Really not going to kick in until about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight.
So then why have they been on the 12th hole?
Stuck on 12?
I'm
guessing.
Maybe it's not going well. Or maybe an alligator ate somebody.
They were 12 under an hour and a half ago. Now they're like 15 over. They're Happy Gilmore in the putt right now.
Well, that'll just about do it.
You're home!
When he starts hacking away in the weeds. Happy. It's so stupid.
I'm guessing the score, the leaderboard just isn't updating via ESPN. Because it looks like somebody just took a picture of a Word document.
It's funny. I'm looking at it now.
Like you could smell the Xerox machine on this one.
It's not even a Word document. It's an old word processor. Like a typewriter.
From WordPad. Like any two-digit numbers can be off by a hair.
Well, pull that up. Like this is what's at ESPN.com. Look at this. What is that? What is that? Why is that at ESPN? Look, it's ESPN.com.
I know. They got a screen grab for a leaderboard.
Oh, it's brutal.
We ran out.
Okay, that's all good. We gotta go. David Dellucci's coming up. You got anything else over there, Brain?
What did we have? We had two more. Jarrell Martin had 11 points last night for SEM Phoenix out of Australia. And Justin Hamilton, not from Chalmette, had 15.
This is the Justin Hamilton, not Justin Hamilton from The Ranch, the movie studio in Chalmette.
Correct.
Which was a former Lowe's that they converted.
Yes, this is the Justin Hamilton who dips
run
his fries
by the
in
way
ranch.
by Jason Wagons Pack. Kellingham! You're welcome.
Very interesting.
And Justin Hamilton, who's the facility manager there.
This,
who, by
Justin
the way,
Hamilton
has
is
confirmed. People have mentioned. I want to bring it up every time because people have mentioned at the ranch have mentioned that they've heard us talking about him.
Okay. Why are you pausing right there?
What's still your segment?
Oh, okay. Well, he had 15. Not your Justin Hamilton, this Justin Hamilton. Center for the Beijing Ducks. 15 points at 8 boards, and that's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's best hemp. Save 40% off everything site-wide for the remainder of this month. No promo code needed. 40% off the entire site for the remainder of this month. David Dellucci joins us next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. You can call them now, an hour from now, at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. River City's 1 Hour Air is always on call. River City's 1 Hour Air. It doesn't matter. I've told you the story a few years ago on Easter Sunday. We got home from our family crawfish boil. AC had gone out, called River City's 1 Hour Air. They were out at our home at 5 o'clock on Easter Sunday. They'll do the same for you. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001. They value your time. They value your money. Mention the Moscona special. You'll save $30 on any system repair. And remember, the preseason AC tune-up, just $97. At River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with 12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Tigers and Rebels, Game 2, 1 hour from right now. Last night, Game 1, David Dellucci and Tom Hart were on the call on ESPNU. Our buddy Luch, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. How are you, man?
Matt, thanks for having me, buddy. I'm doing great.
Man, it's our pleasure. We appreciate you. Obviously, you couldn't be in the stadium last night at Swayze, but you were on the call for a pretty significant game. Would you say the win was bigger for LSU or the loss was more impactful for Ole Miss?
I would have to say the win was bigger for LSU. The reason being that team came into the series 4-11, and you start to look behind you and see who's trailing, because we're a little past the halfway point right now, and you're trying to get into the SEC tournament. I mean, LSU's record is not very good at all. And in order for them to have any postseason hopes, you got to hope that you go in the SEC tournament, have a good showing, and come out of there and catch a break. So you're looking at Missouri, you're looking at Auburn, you're looking at A&M, and you're just sitting there going, I've got to be better than one of these teams behind me. And that win tonight actually moves LSU a little closer into that, magic number of 12 into the SEC tournament.
Obviously, it's weird that the bar is where it is for LSU, but that's the hole that they dug themselves. What was your impression watching Landon Marceau last night?
I think he threw great, man, and he's been the leader all season long at the front end of that rotation. He is a true bona fide ace. The young man is going to go high in the draft. He's got a very high ceiling to play Major League Baseball. But he's the kind of guy, he's been a bulldog all year. He realizes the situation that they're in, and all the pressure is on him. And it seems like every time he toes the mound, he's like, boys, jump on my back. I'm going to carry you as far as I can. And he's been lights out. I think he had a streak of 33 innings this year without allowing an earned run. That's pretty incredible. And for him to go out in Oxford, a hostile crowd last night, set the tone and get a game one victory was huge.
It helped also, Luch, that Gunnar Hoglund was scratched. I mean, he's incredible. He's a legit Friday night guy. He'll be a first-round draft pick, and LSU didn't have to face him. Do you have an update if we might see Hoglund at some point, either tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, the last I heard was there is a possibility that we could see him tomorrow. And early on, it was nothing serious. It's just he was tight coming off of his last start. And this young man obviously is very special to this team for them to make a good postseason run, on top of the fact that he's a potential first-round draft pick. So you don't want to do anything that's going to injure him, keep him out for the rest of the season, or for his career in the future. And I tell you, Matt, I'm sitting here doing all my research and studying for last night's game, and I'm going, this is going to be one of the best pitching matchups that we've seen in a long time between two very equal starters. And it was very disappointing that he couldn't make it. But Ole Miss had a good showing by Derek Diamond. The young man went out there and gave him, 6 innings of great baseball.
Luch, we thought we were going to see Kumar Rocker and Jaden Hill in something similar early this year, and Hill, of course, couldn't make it through the first inning, unfortunately had the injury. But there's been a couple of those instances where we were looking for some marquee matchups that didn't really materialize. I don't know if tonight's a marquee matchup, but there is one elite arm on the bump with Doug Nikhazy. For LSU fans listening who maybe haven't seen Nikhazy throw, give us the scouting report on this guy who's just really had a stellar career.
He is a right-handed version of Landon Marceau. I mean, he can command all 4 pitches, but he's a lefty, and he's going to throw his fastball 90 to 93, has a devastating slider and a good changeup, and he'll throw his changeup to left-handed batters. And you don't see that a whole lot, especially at the college level, because most left-handed pitchers are afraid if they hang that changeup, it's going to leave the yard in a hurry. But Nikhazy can command that changeup, and he can keep it down. He threw an absolute gem against Mississippi State. He threw a complete game shutout and did not allow. The only base hit he allowed, he did not let that runner get past first base. So if he stays where he left off against Mississippi State, it's going to be very difficult for LSU.
How does LSU's offense get going against a guy like Nikhazy?
Well, they got huge momentum from last night, and Trey Morgan had a great game. Dylan Cruz with the big home run. I really like the fact that Giovanni DiGiacomo has caught fire as of late. I think he had 2 hits last night, 3 in the midweek game. It's a big bat. It's a veteran leader that LSU needs, especially at the top of the lineup with his speed. But LSU, in my opinion, if I have to think of a negative that stands out, they depend on the long ball too much, and there's an awful lot of swings and misses. A pitcher like Nikhazy is going to exploit that quite a bit. So if LSU can just get the rallies going, get DiGiacomo on base, Kay Beloso has been swinging real good as of late, and just try to get rallies going, man. Just don't try to hit the 3-run home run every time you get a runner or 2 on base. I think LSU will be a little bit better offensively.
So, Luch, it's interesting that you went to Beloso there because Maneri, they've just posted the starting lineup, And Belloso's been replaced tonight by Zach Arnold as the DH in the 7 hole, and Drew Bianco is going to remain in the lineup at second base. What are your thoughts on that lineup?
That's interesting to me. I'm glad you told me that.
I literally just saw it.
Yeah, that is interesting because Belloso has been hot. I hope there's nothing other than Maneri just trying to get Zach Arnold's bat in the lineup, because Nikhazy's filthy on lefties, man. I mean, he is tough on righties, but he is dirty on lefties. So maybe that's what it is. I know that Coach Maneri wanted Drew Bianco in the lineup just because he's familiar with the atmosphere. Drew Bianco hit a mammoth home run against Ole Miss last year, or 2 years ago, actually, and he's hoping that maybe that kickstarts Drew Bianco and gets his swing back. But look, it doesn't matter who he has in the lineup. Everybody has got to battle each and every at-bat, try to raise Doug Nikhazy's pitch count, because if you start swinging at the first or second pitch and that guy can get 7-8 innings, he's going to be unhittable. And Ole Miss has already gone to their closer last night, so you're not going to see him tonight. So they've got to get Nikhazy out of the game as early as possible.
So, Luch, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. Both teams very likely burned their closer for the weekend. I doubt seriously we see Devin Fontenot again this weekend either. So how does the rest of the Ole Miss bullpen look if, let's say hypothetically LSU can chase Nikhazy after 6 or 7 and Ole Miss has to find a way to get those final 6 or 9 outs?
That has been the Achilles heel of that Ole Miss team. The offense is phenomenal. They're leading the SEC in batting average up until last night. Arkansas took the lead and runs scored. They can hit. The difficult part of the game for Ole Miss is bridging the gap from the starter to the closer. They just don't have a setup man. And actually, they were hoping that Derek Diamond was going to be the setup man. Unfortunately, they had to use him in a start yesterday. So there's huge question marks, man. They've got good arms in the bullpen, but they're just not throwing strikes. Very similar to LSU. They're a pitch or two away from winning ball games, and they can't command the zone. So I'm not sure who they're going to go to, Matt. And it was obvious last night in the 7th inning when Mike Bianco felt it was better to bring in his closer to try to get 9 outs than find a setup man for him.
Luch, I think both managers last night, both head coaches were in that same situation. Like, who do I trust to bring me home? And LSU got a great performance from Devin Fontenot when they needed it most. Tigers and Rebs tonight, Game 2. Game 3 will be tomorrow at noon. Do you have a feeling on tomorrow's game? Luch, LSU obviously is going to be TBA there on the bump.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's all going to depend on how tonight goes. And I would say, Matt, at this point for LSU, it is imperative. They got that first win under their belt. If they are anywhere near the opportunity to get this win, it's all hands on deck. Forget about tomorrow. I mean, Coach Maneri will go down, and Belloso can start tomorrow if that's what it has to go down to. But they have got to get this win tonight, because a win solidifies the series. And right now, LSU, I hate to say it, but it's your backs are against the wall, and every single time you can get a W, you've got to do everything you can to get that win in that left column instead of that L column.
He is David Dellucci, SEC Network, friend of the show. Always appreciate a couple of minutes, Luch. Thanks so much, man. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me. You too, Matt.
Oh, man, we'll see you. It is After Further Review. Remind you about our friends over at mycleanliving.net. Mycleanliving.net. Been thrilled, man. They got the Fresh Air mobiles back in stock, which is the device I have right here on set. It's an air purifier. It's got that NASA-developed Active Pure technology in it, which purifies air and surfaces, proven in FDA lab testing to eliminate viruses, dozens of different pathogens, and eliminate odors as well. I told you my sister-in-law put that in her science lab when the kids were dissecting frogs. It took the odor of the decaying frog carcasses out of the science lab. It's a remarkable piece of technology. This can service up to 500 square feet. There's a larger unit which can service up to 3,000 square feet. That's called the Air and Surface Pro. They do offer financing as well if you need, but this one right here is only $200. It's $199, the Fresh Air Mobile. So shop online at mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. I'm looking at the starting lineup for LSU. I'll do this quickly. I know everyone is going to look at Bianco starting tonight, and I'm in that camp as well, questioning it. But it's obvious what Paul's doing. He's trying to get right-handed bats in the lineup against Nikhazy, who's a lefty. So I do understand that. But, man, I just cannot have Drew Bianco in this lineup. I hate to say that because I don't mean to sound so overtly negative about a young person and who's trying really hard and not trying to mess up. But, I mean, Drew Bianco has struck out in roughly half of his at-bats this year. He has been a non-starter offensively, really, for his career. I would rather have Cade Beloso, a veteran guy who has been in these environments before. I would rather him, even as a lefty, I would rather him in the lineup tonight than Bianco just because Bianco is a righty. I'd have Beloso in there, and I'd have Zach Arnold starting at second base for Drew Bianco. That is a tough one to justify. Again, I understand the thought, but I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope that kid goes out there and has an awesome game and goes 3 for 4 and knocks in a couple of runs. It is really hard for me to imagine that, though. So LSU will go Morgan, Cruz, Thompson in the 3-hole. So Morgan, Cruz, Thompson, Dugas, Doty, DiGiacomo. So DiGiacomo moves up to the 6-hole. Arnold batting 7th. Bianco and Milazzo 8-9 as they were last night. So Morgan, Cruz, Thompson, Dugas, Doty, DiGiacomo, Arnold, Bianco, Milazzo. That's how LSU will line it up tonight. And A.J. Labels will be on the bunt for the Tigers. 45 minutes away from first pitch at Swayze Field in Oxford. You can hear that game on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back and wrap up next. It's AFR.
AFR.
And if you're looking for a place to watch the game tonight, why not get by Pluckers? 2 locations. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Every LSU baseball game all season long. If you need a place to watch the Tigers, you can watch it at Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Indulge with 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar. Great appetizers and sides as well, like the cheese fries, the holy macaroni, the fried pickles. I mean, it's Pluckers. By now, you know the menu. It's an incredible spot. You'll always have an unobstructed view of every game you want to watch. And remember, this Thursday, round 1 of the NFL draft, we will be at Pluckers. I will have tons of swag from Hudco and Sazerac Rye to give away. Come join us at Pluckers. And everyone who shows up will have an opportunity to win a $500 Pluckers gift card. How you doing? All you got to do is show up to drop your name in the box. That's coming up on Thursday for the first round of the draft. Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 per month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting Dreams Come True. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll never know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We always wrap up with, Otter locks, but no Otter, so no plays for you tonight. So I'll give you a couple little things to gnaw on here. Next week, of course, first round of the NFL draft on Thursday, and I'm a little geeked. I am a draft nerd, I've told you before. I keep my M&D draft. Is it odd that I keep this with me all the time, the week leading up to the draft?
Is it odd that we're the Friday before and the rest of the mailboxes haven't filled up? I get you get yours first, but
I didn't get mine first.
You didn't?
There were 2 waves that went out before I got mine.
Why have the rest of the... okay.
I got mine to my house, too, by the way.
I'm starting to feel left out.
If you got...
Yeah, no, normally I get it here.
Yeah, if you got one here, maybe somebody scooped it. Or maybe it didn't show up. Or maybe... Because, it's like the way it's sent, Postal Service, maybe somebody wasn't here to get the delivery, or...
Ooh, I should go to the lobby.
Yeah, that's probably so. That's probably it. I'm sure that's it, Brandon. I'm sure it'll show. And no doubt it came. Yeah, for sure. 100%, Brandon. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, Mike wouldn't leave you out.
I don't know why you got to take that tag.
What tag?
The noted dripping sarcasm.
I love how Mike... This is the thing I love about Mike's draft book. Let's just open a page, right? Let's go... I just opened page 86, offensive tackles. Okay, he's got 50 offensive tackles graded. Number 27 is Jake Curhan from Cal, 6'6", 325. Jake didn't start playing football until he was a sophomore in high school. Became a 3-year starter at left tackle for Redwood High School in California. Curran also played along the defensive line at Redwood. Played basketball in high school, signed with Cal, and he was redshirted in 2016. Won the starting spot at right tackle and started 12 games for Cal. Was second-team All-Pac-12 accolade. Started 13 games at right tackle in 2018. The depth of information.
Who'd he take to prom?
Right? It's that kind of thing. So, when you're watching the draft, you can hear people mumble on TV, which I really don't care to, or I can go read a really in-depth report of every stinking guy that gets picked.
Right.
That's why I love this. It fills the 10 minutes between picks. I can read all this stuff.
Which was even cooler when it was all on Zoom last year, because I'm sure Mike mentioned some relatives and family members.
Hey, you know who Trill Williams is?
Nope.
He's the 22nd best safety. His brother, Taryn, was a linebacker at Western Kentucky, and his sister, Tracy, played softball at Mississippi Valley. I'm telling
it's just
you.
good genes, man. Athletics runs in the blood over there.
So ridiculous. It's awesome. I love it.
Wait, what's his sister's name?
Tracy.
Tracy.
I read it, didn't I?
I think you did.
That's what you learned today. That's right.
No. I learned something better today.
Okay. Well, the NFL expects 50,000 fans at the draft in Cleveland. It'll be the biggest NFL gathering since the pandemic started. That announcement came. And the other thing that came is that, did you hear that Roger Goodell because he's vaccinated, he's been given the okay to hug, high five, shake hands, and dap up players in next week's draft.
We're all very happy for him.
I mean, one of the most juxtaposed moments of the draft every year is Roger Goodell bro-hugging the guys as they come on stage. Like, it's literally the only time in their entire career where they're ever going to be familial with Roger Goodell.
Right.
Because the rest of the time, it is contentious. They are enemies. They're on other sides of the CBA. They're on the other sides of discipline, of everything. Nobody likes Roger Goodell. But you're in a moment where someone is so thrilled because their name just got called, they're an instant millionaire, they're walking across, and there's somebody who wants to hug them. It's almost like after you win a championship. You'll hug any damn body on the field.
Right.
You just won a championship. That's what it's like. So you have all these moments of these guys like big bro hugging Roger Goodell, lifting him up, dapping him up, and it's like...
You think Goodell whispers in their ear, the next time you see my name, it'll be on the letterhead for your first fine.
I got you. It's so great, too, that, the Saints are going to lose draft picks because they were dancing in the locker room without masks, but Roger Goodell is going to get the bro hug and dap up everybody at the draft, right?
Maybe Roger Goodell could lose draft picks.
Wish. Idiot. I am really looking forward to the draft. But I still hate Roger Goodell. Brandon, what did you learn today?
Shea Dixon's reporting Eric Gilbert's a 100% lock to return to LSU.
I hate you so much. Paul, what did you learn?
Mississippi State ditching the black unis.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
ESPN's golf page. Archaic.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Michele Weighing and Measurement, Michele.com, Michele.com. I was checking out the Michele page earlier today on LinkedIn, and one of the really cool things that I tell you all the time, if there's anything really in whatever industry that you weigh or measure, Michele sells, rents, or services those products. Well, they had a video of a crawfish farm, essentially, as they were cleaning the crawfish and then weighing and sacking. Like, all of the machinery and equipment used, Michele sells. Michele.com. So many different industries and so many different offices all over the country as well. 29 different offices in 11 different states. Of course, they got their Harahan office, the Baton Rouge office, 6 offices around Louisiana. Learn more at Michele.com. They offer ISO 17025 accreditation, and learn more about their free track system as well. Michele.com.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
I've been doing